It's Friday, May 22nd. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, forced failure. A report finds the RCMP failed a Nova Scotia woman who was murdered by her neighbor. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And TikTok. The warmer weather means the little parasites could be a big problem. We'll get some timely advice to protect you and your loved ones. That's in our second hour.
And nutrition on the go. A dietitian will share some easy and healthy snacks for the busy summer season. All that and so much more just ahead on the Friday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Well, hello. Good morning. It's Friday. So glad you can join us today, 6:01 on May 22nd, 22.
Wow.
Feeling 22 on this May. Anyway, it's been wonderful. It's been a great week. I've been in such a great mood this week because of all the sunshine. So
Yeah.
it's been great.
Quite lovely.
It's been so nice for people who found it too hot on Wednesday. I mean, we had some nice relief on Thursday where it was still really lovely outside, but not overwhelmingly hot.
Yeah. I went for a run yesterday. It was perfect.
Ooh, felt good.
I just went for a little walk in downtown Dartmouth. The cherry blossoms are out.
Yes,
And
I saw your video.
a viewer said, "Oh, you said you were going to go look at them." And I was like, "What?" But it was, I kind of the dogs. It's one of those times where you like didn't really catch it till the last second. I didn't really get a chance to say hi to the viewer. So if that was you, sorry. I was a little bit preoccupied with the dogs at that moment. But
Yeah.
they're there and I was there, and hopefully you'll get a chance to see them if you're dressed for the blossoms.
Yeah, we were dressed for the blossoms. I was there yesterday as well in downtown Dartmouth. Saw the blossoms, and I also saw the baby goslings.
I saw them too.
The Sullivan's Pond geese. They have 7, I counted, at least where we were at the time, and they are drawing a crowd. I'll tell you that much. It's so cute.
I'm glad you got 7 too, because that's how many I counted.
Okay, that's how much I
Because
counted
they kept
too.
moving. I wasn't sure. In any case, is a sunny streak continuing, Latavia?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Straight into the weekend, we're going to see that sunshine and a little bit of a warm-up into the weekend as well. So here's a live look at the Armdale roundabout. You can see grass is so green. The sun is starting to shine early this morning, but it is colder to start. We saw that risk of frost last night develop into the overnight hours as temperatures cooled down. So starting off early this morning, it is feeling cooler. 4 degrees in Halifax, 2 degrees in Sydney and Charlottetown, -1 right now in Fredericton, -3 degrees over in Labrador City, and 2 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. Still keep in mind the sun safety when heading out. The UV index has taken a bit of a dip. It is now tracking moderate to high across the Maritime region, and for Newfoundland and Labrador also taking a bit of a dip due to active weather, now tracking low to high throughout your day. Special weather statement still remains. Will be ending this afternoon though for parts of Labrador, still expecting a bit of snowfall. And for all 3 Maritime provinces now, we do have a frost advisory for tonight into Saturday night. So temperatures are going to still cool down into the overnight hours. But for today, remaining seasonal to above seasonal for parts of the region for our daytime highs. Lots of sunshine for much of the region. Still have some active weather for Newfoundland and Labrador. In terms of the wind, it's going to be another breezy day ahead. As of right now, 37 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 24 into Grand Etang, 13 in Sydney, as well as into Yarmouth. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take a look at your weekend forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. A youth over 12 in Prince Edward Island was struck by a tractor trailer yesterday while walking across a highway to meet a school bus. RCMP say the youth was hit just before 8 a.m. on Route 2, just northeast of Charlottetown. Police say the youth was seriously injured and taken to hospital in Charlottetown. The Mounties do not believe drugs or alcohol were a factor in the crash. A new report from the RCMP's National Watchdog says Mounties failed in their handling of a sexual assault complaint by a Nova Scotia woman who was murdered weeks later. Susie Butlin was killed in her home in 2017, shortly after reporting her neighbor to the RCMP for sexual assault. A watchdog report found serious failures in how the case was handled, calling the initial investigation grossly inadequate, and says the RCMP hasn't done enough since to improve sexual assault investigations. The watchdog made 79 recommendations, including changes to training and policy and creating specialized units to investigate sexual offenses in each RCMP division. 2 people have been charged in the death of a child in Eskasoni First Nation. The child died suddenly at a home in the community last August. A 37-year-old woman and 42-year-old man, both from Eskasoni, are facing charges of failing to provide the necessities of life and criminal negligence causing death. The suspects were released on conditions and are due to appear in Eskasoni Provincial Court next month. A Nova Scotia man has been charged with first-degree murder in connection to the disappearance of a Pictou County man. Stephen Boudreau was reported missing from Hopewell on April 19th. Police say the initial investigation determined the circumstances around his disappearance were suspicious. A month after he was reported missing, 29-year-old Cody Reed Palmer from Torbrook was charged with first-degree murder. He remains in custody at this time. Police say the investigation is ongoing. A wildfire burning in Lake Echo, Nova Scotia has now been declared under control, though crews remained on the scene overnight monitoring hotspots. Lake Echo is located just to the east of Dartmouth. Halifax fire crews were busy Thursday afternoon fighting that fire. They had about 15 pieces of equipment on site. Crews were first called to the scene around 1:30 in the afternoon for a fire in the Jenkins Boulevard area. Members of the Department of Natural Resources and the Department of Emergency Management were also on scene assisting crews. A nearby homeowner said he saw embers falling onto his property at the height of the fire. Area residents were told to be ready to evacuate, though no evacuations were ordered. How it started is under investigation. Now to the prices at the pumps on this Friday morning. You will be paying less for gas, but more for diesel. In Nova Scotia, Zone 1, gas fell by 3.4 cents. The minimum price now $1.92.8. Meantime, diesel increased by 2 cents. The minimum price now $2.18.1 a litre. In Prince Edward Island, gas slipped by 2.3 cents. The minimum price $2.01.7. However, diesel increased by 7.5 cents. The minimum price now $2.36.8. And in New Brunswick, a small decrease for gas. It fell by 0.8 cents. The maximum price now $2.01.3. However, diesel increased by 2 cents a litre. The maximum price now $2.33.4. Hockey fans got the chance to hear stories from former NHL stars Marc-Andre Fleury and Maxime Talbot during Heart and Strokes in the Crease fundraiser in Moncton last night. It was a sold-out crowd packing Casino New Brunswick for the event, which featured on-stage conversations, fan interaction, and fundraising efforts in support of Heart and Stroke New Brunswick. It's also a chance for Fleury to return to the Maritimes, where he played 3 seasons with the Cape Breton Eagles, which launched his decorated 21-season NHL career.
I talk to a lot of the kids here, and I think, well, they're Habs fans or Leafs fans or Bruins fans out here, or maybe even an Oiler fan, but it's crazy how many Pittsburgh Penguin fans exist. And I would say that's the Crosby effect, but also I would say that's the Marc-Andre Fleury effect.
Now, organizers say support for the event will help fund heart and stroke programs, research, and community initiatives right across New Brunswick. To the soccer pitch now. Maritimers will have a chance to see the FIFA World Cup trophy in Halifax tomorrow, but city officials are warning the buzz will most likely cause traffic tie-ups. So on Saturday, the World Cup Trophy Tour will be at the BMO Soccer Centre. That's on Thomas Riddell Drive near Lacewood and Dunbrack in the Clayton Park area. Now, it is a chance to see the soccer trophy ahead of next month's World Cup in Toronto and Vancouver, as well as the U.S. and Mexico. Now, it is the only stop east of Montreal, and tickets, you had to get them, and they had to be secured in advance. The city is telling people to expect heavy traffic and limited parking. Also, the Halifax Mainland Common Park, that will be closed today and tomorrow for the event. But yes, the trophy coming to Halifax Saturday. But you can't just go and line up to go see it.
No.
You have to have secured a ticket.
That's news you can use. Holy moly, I can't believe that actual trophy is going to be in our region.
I know.
Wow.
Very exciting.
Okay.
Yeah, big news.
This is fun. Honk if you love supporting a good cause. The 15th annual truck convoy in support of Special Olympics Nova Scotia. It's coming back this fall. There we go. The convoy takes place on Saturday, October 3rd, and it departs from 12 Shearwater at 11 a.m. Truckers from across Nova Scotia and beyond will join law enforcement torch run partners to support Special Olympics athletes through a day of entertainment, games, refreshments, and fundraising. Last year's convoy raised more than $180,000 and welcomed 200 truckers, making it the top Special Olympics convoy in North America.
Wow.
Yeah, right? So save the date. And make this year's convoy bigger and better than ever. It's fun.
It is fun. We've taken our little guy to that. Nice to get like a nice chair, sit down,
Totally.
watch it.
I just went out and watched it. I was on my run. I thought, I know this is convoy day, so I made my run route near the convoy, and then I just stopped and waved. It's fun. It really is fun, and it is a great cause. And heck, you know, we got lots of warning. It's several months away. We could really build it up this year and make it even bigger.
Even bigger.
Exactly.
All right, still ahead, we'll have your first look at your national and international news headlines on this Friday morning, including a look at Stephen Colbert's last show.
Oh, yeah.
Last night. It was pretty late, so if you're watching us early this morning, maybe you missed it. We'll have a recap. And Latavia has the full forecast for this Friday and a look ahead as to what we can expect for the weekend. So then, here is a live look at Main Street in downtown Moncton. What a beautiful start to the day. Our daytime highs are next.
Good morning and happy Friday. The time now is 6:13. We're taking a live look at Cape St. Mary, a beautiful sunny start to your day. Cool early this morning, though, at 6 degrees, but you'll be seeing sunshine stick around into the weekend for much of the region, actually. So as of right now, cooler to start. We did see temperatures cool down into the overnight hours on Thursday. That is bringing us that cold weather early this morning, but temperatures are expected to rise a little bit later on. As of right now, it is 1 degree in Fredericton, with 2 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown, 3 in Sydney, 4 degrees in Halifax, 3 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a special weather statement still remaining for parts of Labrador. It will be ending this afternoon. Still expecting periods of snow, only at around 5 centimeters of accumulation. Wind gusts still nearing 80 kilometers per hour. A frost advisory also issued for all 3 maritime provinces for tonight and into Saturday night. As we see temperatures cool back down into the overnight hours, we do have that risk of frost developing. Over to our forecast timeline. So we are seeing mixed precipitation for parts of Labrador. Other than that, though, lots of sunshine across Atlantic Canada today. Still under this ridge of high pressure as we enter into the weekend. So today, just keep in mind sun safety, even though the UV index has dropped just a bit. It's still tracking high for parts of the region, and those UV rays can still be quite strong. For Labrador, looking at periods of snow and or flurry activity, could see some shower activity as well for parts of Cape Breton Island this afternoon. Parts of Newfoundland looking at a bit of a wintry mix as well. And that takes us into tonight. Much of the same. Clear skies remain for all 3 maritime provinces. Still dealing with a bit of a messy mix for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. That will take us into the weekend forecast, where we do have sunshine and a bit of a warm-up expected for the maritime region for our daytime highs. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, looking at around 2 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for parts of Labrador, only around 2 centimeters of accumulation for parts of Newfoundland. And then for our rainfall outlook, we are going to see around 5 to 10 millimeters expected for Labrador and parts of Newfoundland. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, sunshine remains across the province. Daytime highs will range from 14 to 18 degrees and wind gusts still getting up to 40 kilometers per hour. For Prince Edward Island, highs between 10 to 14. Lots of sunshine across the island today, wind gusts of 40. And for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, daytime highs cooler yet again today, around 7 to 16 degrees. Sunshine remains in the forecast, wind out of the west, 30 gusting to 50. For the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at that sunshine continuing throughout the day, clouds will continue to clear out this afternoon. Daytime highs will range from 12 to 17, wind gusts of 40. And for Labrador City, looking at a chance of flurries today with a high of 3. 9 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at lots of sunshine throughout your day. Showers move in this evening. For Saturday's forecast, much of the same, but we will be seeing a bit of a warm-up for the weekend. And we are going to see sunshine remain in the forecast as well for Sunday. So it's going to be a lovely weekend. Sun safety, hydration, very important as those UV indexes begin to rise into the weekend, especially into Sunday's forecast. We do have a low pressure system, though, that will be making its way over off to the west of us, bringing showers into the evening hours on Sunday, and into Monday, we're looking at rain. That's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. Albertans will vote this fall on whether or not they want to separate from the rest of Canada.
I will be requesting our government add an additional question to the October 19th referendum vote announced previously. The additional question will be, should Alberta remain a province of Canada? Or should the government of Alberta commence the legal process required under the Canadian Constitution to hold a binding provincial referendum on whether or not Alberta should separate from Canada?
That address by Premier Smith came after a bipartisan committee passed a motion recommending that a pro-Canada petition be sent to a referendum. A court had recently quashed another petition calling for separation, saying that the province did not consult First Nations. Canada's military is chronically short on gear, so much so that it's now asking personnel in the Ottawa region to return some of it. Items like tactical vests are being handed in by members who are not part of a deployable unit. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver now with more on what else is in short supply.
Thousands of troops in the Ottawa area are being asked to hand in some of their field gear to help compensate for what the Defense Department is calling critical equipment shortages.
It doesn't send a very positive message, even though it might be normal. It just indicates just how weak the procurement system is, how low the stockpiles are, and just how much demand there is on operations right now.
About 10,000 troops received an email last week requesting they return rucksacks, patrol packs, tactical vests, and fragmentation vests. The Defense Department says the equipment will be reissued to deployable units. Personnel in non-deployable units do not require this equipment for their day-to-day duties. This, in conjunction with several other initiatives, will also help address potential shortfalls of items, particularly of highly demanded sizes.
It's a reflection of the mindset we've lived through several generations at National Defense, which is without enough to go around, you get by with as much as you can get away with.
Ottawa has promised to scale up military recruitment and add tens of billions to the defense budget. But experts say changing that scarcity mindset and modernizing procurement policies will take time.
Those quite literally growing pains of an organization that for decades has not been used to grow and has policies in place that are, as we can see, not well adapted in terms of scale, scope, and complexity to the ask that the government has of the Canadian Armed Forces.
The department says these kinds of requests are issued periodically and that the gear could go to Latvia to new recruits or be used for training. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, a TV franchise is now in the history books forever. Stephen Colbert hosted the very last episode of The Late Show and shut down New York City's Ed Sullivan Theater last night. ABC's Rena Roy has the recap.
Overnight, Stephen Colbert hosting the final Late Show on CBS.
If you're just tuning into The Late Show, you missed a lot.
Colbert trying to do a normal show, but he kept getting interrupted by celebrities, all vying to be his final guest.
A surprise celebrity cameo popping up out of nowhere?
No, Brian, those always feel kind of forced. Paul, why are you interrupting me?
I'm just curious when our interview starts. I have an extremely long poem I want to recite.
Ryan, it's great to see you, but I hate to tell you, buddy, you're not my last guest.
Ouchie. The night building to a big surprise. Colbert, a devout Catholic, teeing up an interview with Pope Leo.
Oh, wait, Colbert. You call that a Chicago dog? Pope don't play like that. Leo, out.
But instead settling for Paul McCartney.
Hey, Steve, what about me?
McCartney returning to the Ed Sullivan Theater for perhaps the final time.
The Beatles, bring them on.
More than 60 years after the Beatles' legendary appearance on the same stage, McCartney gifting Colbert a photo of that concert.
To Stephen, you're better than the Beatles.
Colbert and his former band leader, John Baptiste, closing out the final show with a Beatles classic. The broadcast ending with Colbert and McCartney turning off the lights on the Late Show franchise. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Thank you, Rena. Break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll have your business headlines on this Friday morning, plus your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
It is now 6:25 and time to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Hello there, Matt Scooby inside the TSN Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. For it, we go to North Carolina. Habs taking on the Canes Game 1 Eastern Conference Final. Cole Caulfield finds Juraj Slafkovsky. He absolutely undresses Andrei Svechnikov and then dekes out Freddie Anderson for a spectacular goal. Slafkovsky with an absolute beauty. What a toe drag. Snaps out of his 4-game goalless streak in a big way with 2 goals in this one. It's your must-see moment from Thursday. And tonight on TSN, NBA playoffs, Game 3 between the Thunder and the Spurs, tip-off 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Taking a look at a very sunny 3-day forecast for New Brunswick. 16 degrees today with sunshine, 19 on Saturday, becoming seasonal on Sunday to 20. A mix of sun and cloud, showers move in into the evening. For Nova Scotia, looking at 18 degrees with mainly sunny skies, 16 on Saturday with sunshine continuing. Warming up to 20 on Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud. We have rain moving in for the Tri-County area into the evening. For Prince Edward Island, 13 degrees today, 14 on Saturday. Sunshine continues in the forecast on Sunday, warming up to 20. Time now, 6:27. We'll be right back. Stick with us.
Coming up in this half hour on the Move Morning Chat, we want to know what your only in the Maritimes moment is. We'll explain in about 15 minutes here on Your Morning Atlantic. Hey, good morning. It is Friday, May 22nd.
Tidy up this living room here, people. Like I'm at home.
We have guests coming over. We have guests. Get out the good china.
Exactly.
Got the Kent mugs on set.
The kettle's on. Yeah, I'll just grab a little something. And then if it were Cape Breton, I would slice up some cheese, put up some crackers and a few cookies.
Nice.
That's very much what my mother-in-law would do.
Oh, that's a good way. Yeah, coming up, we're talking about like your only in the Maritimes moment.
That.
Like, yeah, be like, let me just tidy this up for you.
Put the kettle on. That's a very maritime.
Very maritime. Taking a look at the Blue Nose. Well, it's going to be really cool when you'll be able to check that out this summer.
Oh, yeah. And as you can see here, the sun is already beginning to shine over in Lunenburg. Cool to start, though. So you're going to want to layer up before heading outdoors, but that sunshine will be sticking around into the weekend forecast as well. As of right now, it is 4 degrees in Halifax, 3 in Sydney, 2 degrees to start your day in Charlottetown, colder in Fredericton at 1. Also 1 degree in Happy Valley Goose Bay and in St. Anthony. Taking a look at the UV index, it is dropping just a bit, but still tracking moderate to high throughout your day today for the Maritime region. Newfoundland and Labrador are tracking low to high throughout your day today. And then we do still have that special weather statement remaining in effect for parts of Labrador. Still seeing some snowfall early this morning, but will be ending this afternoon. We do now have a frost advisory in effect across all 3 maritime provinces for tonight until Saturday night. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Sunshine for much of Atlantic Canada today. We do have a bit of a wintry mix for parts of Newfoundland and across much of Labrador. In terms of our wind forecast, it will be another breezy day ahead. Wind is expected to pick up. As of right now, 43 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 22 in Grand Etang, 17 in Canso, with 11 in Sydney and Moncton. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take another look at your sunny weekend forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
A youth over 12 in Prince Edward Island was struck by a tractor trailer yesterday while walking across a highway to meet a school bus. RCMP say the youth was hit just before 8 a.m. on Route 2 northeast of Charlottetown. Police say the youth was seriously injured and taken to hospital. The Mounties do not believe drugs or alcohol were a factor in the crash. A new report from the RCMP's National Watchdog says Mounties failed in their handling of a sexual assault complaint by a Nova Scotia woman who was murdered weeks later. Susie Butlin was killed in her home in 2017 shortly after reporting her neighbor to the RCMP for sexual assault. A watchdog report found serious failures in how the case was handled, calling the initial investigation grossly inadequate, and says the RCMP hasn't done enough since to improve sexual assault investigations. The watchdog made 79 recommendations, including changes to training and policy and creating specialized units to investigate sexual offenses in each RCMP division. Months after a dozen volunteer Sackville firefighters turned in their pagers, stepping away from active duty, the future of the department is still a major issue in the Tantramar area. An independent legal probe examined allegations ranging from policy violations and workplace toxicity to issues of leadership within the service. The municipality is now reviewing the findings with legal counsel to determine next steps, which will be presented to the incoming council. They are advising the public that priority remains safe and reliable fire protection services. Now to prices at the pumps. You'll be paying less for gas this morning, but more for diesel. Beginning with Nova Scotia's Zone 1, the Halifax area, gas fell by 3.4 cents. The minimum price now $1.92.8 a liter. Meantime, diesel increased by 2 cents. The minimum price, $2.18.1. In PEI, gas slipped by 2.3 cents. The minimum price now $2.01.7. Meantime, diesel, it increased by 7.5 cents. The minimum price now $2.36.8. And in New Brunswick, a small decrease for gas. It fell by 0.8 cents. The maximum price now $2.01.3. However, diesel increased by 2 cents a liter. The maximum price now $2.33.4. Meantime, drivers are doing whatever they can to search for savings at the pumps, even if they're temporary. There were some very long lineups at Circle K gas stations yesterday afternoon for a brief Canada-wide promotion that saved motorists 10 cents a liter. One UNB marketing professor says these kinds of campaigns pay for themselves.
Every news story, every social media post of the lineup, did you hear about few day, conversations like that, that's actually, doing a lot more PR and branding work that Circle K didn't have to pay for at all.
She adds gas retailers make little off their fuel sales and rely more on selling lottery tickets and tobacco products to generate money. Maritimers will have a chance to see the FIFA World Cup trophy in Halifax tomorrow. But city officials are warning the buzz will likely cause a lot of traffic tie-ups. On Saturday, the World Cup Trophy Tour will be at the BMO Soccer Centre. That's on Thomas Riddell Drive near Lacewood and Dunbrack in the Clayton Park area. It's a chance to see the soccer trophy ahead of next month's World Cup in Toronto and Vancouver, as well as the U.S. and Mexico. It is the only stop east of Montreal, and tickets had to be secured in advance. The city is telling people to expect heavy traffic and limited parking. The Halifax Mainland Common Park will also be closed today and tomorrow for the event. Finally, a new boat school is now making waves on the Halifax waterfront. The imposing new facility on the boardwalk will help the Maritime Museum of the Atlantic meet the growing demand for hands-on boat building programs and on-the-water experiences for underserved youth. For the last 10 years, the programs were held in small boat sheds at the museum.
A boat school focused on serving kids at risk from underserved communities. It's a project that nobody has said, this is a stupid idea. Everyone that we've talked to about it has loved it, and people who love something are willing to give to support it.
The boat school is supported through a mix of public and private funding, totaling more than $15 million.
It's amazing. It's beautiful.
It's impressive. It's been, I passed by that area of the waterfront quite a bit, and it's been interesting to see it over the past few months just really taking shape. And it is a beautiful new structure, not too big. Definitely can't miss it.
The school itself is so awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I did a story, I think it was last year, was a group of youth. Within the week, they made boats, little kind of dinghy type boats, and technically they could take them home if they had the ability, but most kids don't have a boat launch.
Yeah.
Yes,
So they just keep them there, and then if they want to use them, they can. But I think it's just a wonderful program.
Wow.
Okay, let's talk about the contest. It's Friday. You got one more chance to win this week. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. So how do you enter? Well, head to our contest page. It's on our website. Just see the little bar at the top. Click on the contest or use the QR code you'll see in just a second. And today's code word is prosper. All of us, we want you to prosper. So whether you enter the contest or not, but you certainly could prosper with 20 grand. So enter today. We will have 5 more chances to win next week. 1 each day we're on the air. So we want you to win the money.
Just 5 more days.
That's it.
One more week.
Yeah. All right, still ahead. We got the weekend ahead of us. We will have your entertainment headlines. But before that, the Move Morning Chat. Today, we want to know, what was your only in the Maritimes moment? Like, this would not happen anywhere else except for here. Share your story, and we will share ours up next.
Happy Friday and welcome back. The time now is 6:42. We're taking a live look at a beautiful sunny start to the day over in Antigonish. Cold though to start. It is 3 degrees, so something to keep in mind when you are getting dressed to head out this morning. We are going to see a cooler start to the day and cooler daytime highs, but we'll be warming up from what it is right now. 4 degrees heading outdoors in Halifax, 3 in Sydney, 2 degrees right now in Charlottetown with 1 in Fredericton, -3 in Labrador City, and 3 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. Still holding on to that special weather statement that remains in effect for parts of Labrador. It will be ending this afternoon, but we are still expecting a bit of snowfall in your area. Wind gusts could near 80 kilometers per hour. A frost advisory now issued for all 3 maritime provinces as those lows for the evenings come down. For tonight and Saturday night, we are expecting that risk of frost to develop. Over to our forecast timeline. Still under this ridge of high pressure for much of Atlantic Canada. Lots of sunshine, so keep in mind sun safety when heading out. Cool to start, temperatures will rise into the afternoon, remaining below seasonal for much of our daytime highs. Into the afternoon as well, we do have a chance of some showers and or flurries for parts of Cape Breton Island and Newfoundland, and also for much of Labrador, looking at a bit of a wintry mix expected as well. That will continue into Newfoundland and Labrador this evening. For the Maritime region, remaining quite clear for all 3 maritime provinces. That takes us into early Saturday, another sunny, beautiful day ahead, but we are also going to see a bit of a warm-up. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, though, looking at around 2 to 5 centimeters of accumulation across Labrador, and then for parts of Newfoundland, only around 2 centimeters expected. For our rainfall outlook, we are going to see around 5 to 10 millimeters expected for Labrador, and then parts of Newfoundland being into St. Anthony. For a forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs will range from 14 to 18 degrees, being the warmest into Woodstock. Lots of sunshine right across the province. Wind will be picking up out of the northwest, 20 gusting to 40. For Prince Edward Island, highs between 10 to 14 degrees. Lots of sunshine remains in the forecast. Same thing goes for Newfoundland, for Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia. I'm getting ahead of myself. Daytime highs will range from 7 to 16 degrees and seeing wind gusts pick up to 50. For the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at lots of sunshine as clouds continue to clear out this afternoon. Daytime highs between 12 to 17. Now to Newfoundland and Labrador, looking at a high of 3 degrees for Labrador City. A chance of flurries throughout your day. 9 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Looking at sunshine throughout your day. Showers arrive into the evening. So this weekend's forecast is looking quite nice. We do have a bit of shower activity into Saturday afternoon for parts of Newfoundland. Other than that, lots of sunshine across Atlantic Canada. That takes us into our forecast for Sunday. Another day where we're going to see temperatures warm up. But we do have a low pressure system headed our way. It is currently off to the west of us. It will be bringing some shower activity back to the Maritime region into the evening and bringing wet weather into our forecast for Monday. That's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to the Move Morning Chat. Time now for the Friday edition of the Move Morning Chat with Aaron and Peter. This morning we're talking about what is your only in the Maritimes moment. Aaron, you're going to kick this off. Tell us why.
Yeah, it's funny. These are things that, like, stories that would only happen in the Maritimes, small town kind of stories. And just this past week, I had my mom visiting Halifax from Kelowna, and she's got some friends here from Victoria, Calgary, Montreal. It was fantastic. But they did this sort of home share program where it's almost like Airbnb, but you can put your home up if you're traveling, and then other people just move into your home and stay there. And I thought it was fascinating, and it was the coolest experience. And I got to go there and see this beautiful home right in Halifax. Well, as they were leaving, I went to pick them up at the home to bring them to the airport. And the homeowners had just returned from a trip. We got chatting. Turns out they're very good friends of Peter Harrison. So we're like, I had been telling Peter all week about this house that I was at, and they were staying there. And turns out Peter's been to that house many times. He's very good friends with them. I'm like, only in the Maritimes would this happen.
I've had dinner there. They've been over to our place to have dinner. I mean, it's only in the Maritimes.
Weird.
And another example might be, this was a few months ago. I was walking through your building over at CTV, and I saw Katie Kelly. And what are you doing? What's going on, Katie? Said, I'm trying to find this bagpiper who just won the world championship, bagpipe world championship. I said, that's my nephew. It's kind of, I mean, we're just one big small town.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an only in the Maritimes thing.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
There are so many moments. Like I'm just thinking one top of my head because you mentioned this, Peter. Like, Katie Kelly used to be my boss, right? When I was in radio, back when Move 100 was C100, I did the summer radio cruiser one summer, and Katie was head of promotion, so she was my boss. And then, like, we worked together here at CTV Atlantic in different positions. But I gotta tell you, I know my son made the comment that it's not that he doesn't like to go out with me, but he says every time we do, I find someone to talk to, because either I went to high school with them or university, or they know me from work, something like that. So there's guaranteed anytime I step out of the house, I am going to run into someone I know. There are too many connections all the time.
Yeah.
That's how I used to feel back home, thankfully.
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore, kinda. All right, so for me, I would say for my husband, he's from a small town in Cape Breton, Florence. And if your name is Stubbart, most likely, or Rotherham, you're related, which is hilarious.
Oh, wait.
So his family, like even Boutelier here, that's how we say it in Toronto. 99% chance that it's a family member of his, and I think it's hilarious because now that we have kids, it's kind of like, oh, that's another uncle or an aunt, or it's really cool to see the connection.
Okay, I'm going to go way out on a limb here, Latavia. Is your husband part of the fiddling, step dancing Stubbarts? Is any of that crew part of that?
It's very possible. I'll ask him, but I'm sure he's gonna be like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
You know what? Now you got me thinking too. Yeah, Debison's, Leeches Creek, Glace Bay. That's where they're all from. Like Cape Breton connection.
It's wild to me.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Ashlyn Debison's my third cousin. I cannot
No
sing.
way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
She's my third cousin. I can't sing. She can.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, well, I never had a CD deal, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so we are throwing the question to you. It's the Move Morning Chat. What was your only in the Maritimes moment? Send us a text at 10400. Let us know who's your father, and we would love to share your answers a little bit later. Yeah.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Well, it's time for us to head over to Hollywood, and for that, we'll turn our attention over to the entertainment headlines.
The Mandalorian and Grogu flies into theaters today. Director Jon Favreau told ABC News the new Star Wars film honors the world George Lucas created, even though it may be a little scary to some viewers.
That's part of the tradition of what, you know, it's a scary world. The stakes are high, but the characters are heroic, pure of heart, and I think that it fits the same mythic structure.
Kerry Washington is attached to star in and executive produce a new drama in development at Hulu called What Remains. It's based on Wendy Walker's 2023 novel of the same name. Disney is the parent company of Hulu, Lucasfilm, and ABC News. The Tony Awards have announced performances for the broadcast. The slate includes performances from Ragtime Cats, The Jellicle Ball, and new musicals The Lost Boys and Schmigadoon. The Tony Awards will air live on CBS and stream on Paramount Plus on June 7th. And happy birthday to Naomi Campbell, who is 56 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
Having a real in-person East Coast Music Awards in Cape Breton has been a long time coming. And as CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, not only is the downtown alive with the sights and sounds.
Yeah, it's also some big name Cape Bretoners who are up for some big awards too. Check it out.
For the first time in a decade, the East Coast Music Awards have taken over downtown Sydney.
We've been coming to the ECMAs wherever they are for the last 10 years or so.
This couple from Florenceville, Bristol, New Brunswick arrived here today. The last Cape Breton ECMAs were a virtual year during COVID, so they have been waiting a while to experience the festival in a place known for fiddle music and foot stomping.
Absolutely. You know, Cape Breton punches above its weight in the music world.
Well, I mean, as a lot of locals know, it took us a long time to get to this point.
This brew pub opened only 6 months ago. This ECMA weekend, it is a home base of sorts for live music, and it should be plenty busy.
So for this to kind of be like the biggest event in Sydney for this year, I think, and us to be a part of it, it's really exciting.
You know, Sydney is going to be alive with music this weekend, right? Like every venue, every restaurant.
The new executive director of the East Coast Music Association is a former member of Great Big Sea, so he knows a real kitchen party type atmosphere when he sees one.
That authenticity, that sincerity, man, we have in spades.
As for why he's encouraging people to come downtown and take in a few tunes, he says it's better than staying home and taking, well, a great big seat.
Our competition now, it's not other bands or sports or that, it's the couch and the phone, right? So our whole thing is about remember what we have here.
The 2026 ECMAs in Sydney wrap up on Sunday. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
All right, taking another look at our 3-day forecast as we enter into the weekend. For New Brunswick, 16 degrees today with sunshine. Sunshine continues in the forecast on Saturday, warming up to 19. Seasonal at 20 on Sunday with a mix of sun and cloud and evening showers. For Nova Scotia, looking at 18 degrees today, mainly sunny. 16 on Saturday, and sunshine continues on Sunday with a high of 20. A mix of sun and cloud, evening rain for the southern region of the province. Prince Edward Island, 13 degrees today with 14 on Saturday, warming up to 20 on Sunday with sunshine continuing in the forecast.
It's Friday, May 22nd. Today on Your Morning Atlantic Trophy Tour. The FIFA World Cup Trophy is making a one-day stop in our region tomorrow. We'll have the details just ahead, including traffic concerns.
And time for some TikTok. We get a friendly reminder on how you can protect yourself and your loved ones from the tiny biters. That's this half hour of Your Morning Atlantic.
Ooh. Welcome back. That was not for the faint of heart. I can't stand seeing ticks.
I know. It just it makes you feel so itchy.
Yeah.
Itchy, itchy, itchy.
Well, they're
Important
apparently,
information. Yeah.
It's a great year for ticks if you're a tick.
Yeah. Right.
I love Vet Lloyd. I can't wait to have that conversation. But I have a question for Vet, and it is like, what do ticks live off of? Because our dog got 2 in Cape Breton on her, at least 2. I mean, we found 2. Never happened before. And she was running around in the tall grass in Cape Breton, but there really aren't any animals around. Like, what are the ticks living on? Why are they there?
Spite.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah. So anywhere else. anywhere else. And what's going to be interesting when Vet joins us is talking about not just the concerns around Lyme disease, which are very serious.
Yes.
There's other stuff to keep in mind too. They can be carrying some other things that aren't so great.
It's really, and even though it's an unpleasant conversation, sometimes you need to have that to protect yourselves. We'll do that. We'll get it out of the way. We'll rip off the Band-Aid, if you will, this half hour.
Absolutely.
And get you ready. Another thing people need to get ready for a weekend ahead is, in fact, preparing for the weather. It looks like it's pretty nice, actually.
It is. It's going to be warming up into the weekend, which is really welcomed. Here's a live look at Yarmouth this morning. A beautiful sunny start to your day. Cooler, though, 3 degrees right now. Temperatures will rise, still remaining seasonal to below seasonal for much of our daytime highs, though. But into the weekend, we are going to see that warm up, and that sunshine continues in the forecast. 4 degrees right now in Halifax with 3 in Sydney, 2 degrees in Charlottetown with 1 in Moncton, as well as into Cartwright and St. Anthony. Here's a look at the UV index, something to keep in mind when you are heading out and about in that sunshine. We are seeing the UV index track moderate to high across all 3 maritime provinces and tracking low to high throughout your day for both Newfoundland and Labrador. We do still have that special weather statement remaining in effect for parts of Labrador. It will be ending this afternoon, but still expecting some snowfall. And a frost advisory has been issued for all 3 maritime provinces for tonight and Saturday night. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Still under this ridge of high pressure, holding on as we head towards the weekend. Lots of sunshine for much of Atlantic Canada. We do still have some active weather in the forecast, though, looking at flurries and or showers for much of Labrador and parts of Newfoundland into the afternoon. And in terms of our current wind forecast, it's going to start off quite light. We'll continue to pick up into the afternoon. 43 kilometers per hour right now in North Cape, 22 in Grand Etang with 17 in Canso. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
A youth over 12 in Prince Edward Island was struck by a tractor trailer yesterday while walking across a highway to meet a school bus. RCMP say the youth was hit just before 8 a.m. on Route 2 northeast of Charlottetown. Police say the youth was seriously injured and taken to hospital. The Mounties do not believe drugs or alcohol were a factor in the crash. A new report from the RCMP's National Watchdog says Mounties failed in their handling of a sexual assault complaint by a Nova Scotia woman who was murdered weeks later. CTV's Jonathan McGuinness reports.
But I, as the commanding officer for the province of Nova Scotia, do apologize to the family.
9 years after Susan Butland was killed by her neighbor, a report into her death and what preceded it has been released by the Civilian Review and Complaints Commission.
My first response is, well, how tragic this is, that this woman was sexually assaulted in some way and subsequently killed by the same suspect.
That suspect is Ernest Ross Jr. Duggan. Butland filed a sexual assault complaint with RCMP 2 months before her murder. Police investigated but didn't file charges. The CRCC report found serious failures in how the case was handled, calling the initial investigation grossly inadequate. Other findings say RCMP members did not take reasonable steps to keep Ms. Butland safe. She was treated without respect or care. They say police failed to investigate or properly document reports that Ms. Butland was being threatened and intimidated by the neighbor. And the RCMP did not warn her about these risks or take steps to protect her from the neighbor who ultimately took her life. RCMP members who investigated the complaint relied on harmful myths and stereotypes about sexual assault.
Well, the statement was very scathing, ultimately, and what it speaks to, I think, are a couple of different possibilities. One is training, one is ability, one is actually getting the job done.
The report also offered 79 recommendations, including creating specialized units in every division to handle and oversee sexual assault cases, review all past sexual assault investigations conducted by the member who took Ms. Butland's complaint, and ensure that he is not permitted to investigate sexual assault complaints until he has received all of the recommended operational guidance, and require training for all members who respond to or investigate sexual assault.
We have had significant advancement for those changes. As I mentioned, we've increased the amount of training, the trauma-informed approach that our officers use within these investigations.
The RCMP commissioner has agreed with a significant majority of the CRCC's findings and recommendations and committed to creating specialized sexual assault units. Jonathan McGuinness, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Jonathan. Now to prices at the pumps on this Friday morning. You'll be paying less for gas, but more for diesel. In Nova Scotia Zone 1, gas fell by 3.4 cents. The minimum price now $1.92.8 a litre. Meantime, diesel increased by 2 cents. The minimum price now $2.18.1. In PEI, gas slipped by 2.3 cents. The minimum price $2.01.7. Meantime, diesel increased by 7.5 cents. The minimum price now $2.36.8. And in New Brunswick, a small decrease for gas. It fell by 0.8 cents. The maximum price $2.01.3. However, diesel increased by 2 cents a litre. The maximum price $2.33.4. Some Maritimers will have a chance to see the FIFA World Cup trophy in Halifax tomorrow, but city officials are warning the buzz will most likely cause traffic tie-ups. On Saturday, the World Cup Trophy Tour will be at the BMO Soccer Centre. That's on Thomas Riddell Drive near Lacewood and Dunbrack in the Clayton Park area. It is a chance to see the soccer trophy ahead of next month's World Cup in Toronto and Vancouver, as well as the U.S. and Mexico. It is the only stop east of Montreal, and tickets had to be secured in advance. The city's telling people to expect heavy traffic and limited parking. The Halifax Mainland Common Park will actually be closed today and tomorrow for the event. Finally, Uber drivers are bracing for traffic and even tension during the FIFA World Cup. The national president at the United Food and Commercial Workers says he's asked Uber to remind customers in Toronto and Vancouver to be courteous and calm because increased traffic causes some people to get frustrated and sometimes take it out on drivers. Wow, it is going to be a busy, busy time to be in Toronto and Vancouver, especially if you're not there for the games as well.
Yeah, the road rage down there is wild.
Already, huh?
It's already growing just on a normal day-to-day basis, and then you factor in a big event, people trying to get somewhere on time.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yikes. Okay, good luck to you if you're going, and hopefully you don't have any traffic issues. But interesting, even though we're having just the trophy coming to one section of the city of Halifax already saying, hey, heads up, there's not going to be a lot of parking. They're advising people to take public transit if they're going, maybe take a bike, walk if you can, or carpool because parking will be limited.
Well, that is great news you can use.
Yeah.
So is this, the reminder about our contest. So, wake up and win with CTV Your Morning. Guess what? We can pay your bills with $20,000. All you have to do to enter the contest is go to our contest page at ctvatlantic.ca, or you can scan the QR code you're going to see on the screen in a second, along with today's code word. This is your chance to win. Prosper is the word of the day. Enter that along with just a tiny bit of info. You'll be entered to win for today. And a reminder, the contest lasts 1 more week, so 5 more chances to win. You get that 1 word per day with your chance to win. We really hope to announce that you're the winner of the $20,000. Let's practice it right now. Latavia Beezer, you're the winner of $20,000. Oh my gosh.
I'd be so happy.
Yeah, it would be amazing. Oh my gosh.
That would be really, really nice.
Amanda Debison, you've just won $20,000.
I'll take it in cash. I want to be like those people in the video where they're just like, it's raining down on them.
That would be fun if we could arrange that for the person to just like have it all fall on them and then they'd gather it up. And
yeah, that's part of the conditions.
Yeah. Yeah, read the fine print, people. You got to be there for the money raining. Anyway.
Okay, still ahead. I don't think we have any rain in the forecast.
I don't think so.
No, clear skies. Latavia has more details just ahead. Also, too, I'll have your national news headlines. Let's take, whoa!
It's good luck! It's good luck!
Seagull action. The Seagulls are out this morning in St. John. The forecast is next. Be prepared for anything.
Welcome back and happy Friday. The time now is 7:13. Taking a live look at Birdcoat Head. Beautiful, clear, sunny skies early this morning. A bit cooler, though, starting off your day. As of right now, it is 4 degrees heading outdoors. Temperatures are expected to rise, but cool to start right across the region. It is 6 degrees right now in Halifax, 5 in Sydney and Charlottetown, 3 degrees in Fredericton, looking at 3 degrees as well right now in Corner Brook. That special weather statement for Labrador remains in effect. It will be ending this afternoon, but still seeing periods of snow, only at around 5 centimeters of accumulation, wind gusts still nearing 80 kilometers per hour. A frost advisory now issued for all 3 maritime provinces for tonight and Saturday night. As we see those lows for the night come down, we do have a risk of frost developing. Over to our forecast timeline. Lots of sunshine in the forecast, as you can see here. We're still under this ridge of high pressure. Cooler air still continues to move through the region, helping to cool things down early on and into the overnight hours. For Labrador, we are going to see periods of snow taper off to a chance of flurries. We do have a bit of a wintry mix for parts of Newfoundland, showers and or flurries expected. Also into parts of Cape Breton Island. That will clear out, though, for Cape Breton. We will be seeing pretty clear skies for the Maritime region into tonight. Carrying into Saturday morning, a beautiful sunny and warmer day is ahead. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, we are going to see around 2 to 5 centimeters of accumulation across parts of Labrador. For Newfoundland, only seeing around 2 centimeters. And then for our rainfall outlook, looking at around 5 to 10 millimeters for parts of Labrador and into St. Anthony. For a forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs will range from 14 to 18 degrees today. Lots of sunshine across the province. Wind picking up yet again, will be breezy out of the northwest, 20 gusting to 40. For Prince Edward Island, highs between 10 to 14 degrees. We're looking at lots of sunshine throughout your day, wind gusts of 40. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, lots of sunshine for you as well. Highs will range from 7 to 16 degrees and wind gusts will pick up to 50. For the rest of Nova Scotia, sunshine sticking around as clouds continue to clear out later this morning into the afternoon. Highs will range from 12 to 17, wind gusts of 40 as well. And then for Labrador City, 3 degrees with a chance of flurries throughout your day. 8 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at mainly sunny skies, and showers arrive into the evening. So for forecast on Saturday, we are going to see much of the same. We have a chance of showers for Newfoundland into the evening, and then into Sunday's forecast. A beautiful sunny day is ahead yet again. So that's a look at your weather. Now we're going to throw things over to meteorologist Kaylin Mitchell.
And this is your campfire conditions report brought to you by Pine Acres RV, where customers become friends. These provincial restrictions valid until 2 p.m. on May 22nd. No change for New Brunswick, so still open in Restigouche and Gloucester counties, but the rest of the province for campfires restricted to the hours of 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. For the province of Nova Scotia, campfires in Category 1 burning restricted to the hours of 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. And for Prince Edward Island, the province is open to campfires, but domestic brush burning is restricted to the hours of 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. for Kings County, 2 p.m. to 8 a.m. for Queens County, and Prince County is currently closed for domestic brush burning. Remember, as well as checking in on provincial restrictions, to check in on any municipal restrictions and bylaws.
To international news now. There are rising fears over the Ebola virus entering Canada after an Air France flight bound for the U.S. was diverted to Montreal. The diversion was tied to American flight restrictions, denying a passenger entry because they had recently been in East Africa. The plane was en route from Paris to Detroit when it landed at Trudeau International Airport. A Public Health Agency of Canada quarantine officer determined the passenger was asymptomatic and returned to Paris. There are currently no confirmed cases of Ebola in Canada. Some Canadian Red Cross workers are heading to the Democratic Republic of Congo to help with the Ebola outbreak response. Their work will involve contact tracing, psychological support, and helping people get to treatment centers. A shocking loss in the auto racing world. Legendary NASCAR driver Kyle Busch has died.
Kyle Busch will get his 63rd career victory in the NASCAR Cup Series.
Busch's impressive racing resume spanned more than 2 decades and included 234 wins across the sport's 3 national series, more than any other driver in history. Busch was hospitalized with a severe illness. In a statement, NASCAR said a future Hall of Famer, Kyle was a rare talent, one who comes along once in a generation. Kyle Busch was 41 years old. Finally, the Montreal Canadiens open the NHL's Eastern Conference Final Series against the Carolina Hurricanes with a win.
And now moving it all along with the shot, score! The Canadiens
The Habs handed the Hurricanes their first loss of the playoffs, beating them 6-2 in front of a home crowd in North Carolina. Game 2 goes tomorrow night in Montreal. Another break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, it is TikTok. We are talking about ticks and what you should know about them this season. That's on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back at 7:22. Now it's time to talk ticks, and the tiny parasites can cause big problems. They can carry serious diseases like Lyme disease, and right now their population is thriving. Joining us from Sackville, New Brunswick is tick expert and professor of biology at Mount Allison University, Vet Lloyd. Good morning, Vet.
Good morning.
So it's a great year if you're a tick. Why is that?
The ticks really enjoyed our winter last winter. There was enough snow on the ground to keep them moist and cozy in the leaf litter. And what that means is we just had a bumper crop of ticks, and they're all coming out right now and looking for a lovely snack of your blood, your kid's blood, your pet's blood, really any blood. They don't care.
Yeah, they do not care. Now, ticks can carry Lyme disease. We know this. Do they carry anything else?
It's unfortunately, yes. It's not just Lyme disease. Lyme disease is still the most common disease they carry, but Nova Scotia anaplasmosis is picking up, and that's a particularly scary disease. Not that there are any that are not scary. In New Brunswick, we have babesiosis kicking up. And we're keeping an eye on imported ticks coming from the States. So ticks are just unpleasant. There's no such thing as a good tick. Your best bet is to keep them off you or get them off you quickly if they sneak by your defenses.
Let's talk a little bit about how ticks go from plant to person or plant to pet. I understand they can't jump. They just simply crawl onto a host as you walk through tall grass?
Yeah, they don't jump, they don't fly, and they don't actually do a whole lot of anything, but they can smell using their noses, which are actually in their front legs, a bit strange for us. And they smell your sweat, they smell you breathing, and if you brush by them or your pet brushes by them, they grab on with their front claws and then very slowly walk up your body, slowly enough that you may not feel them. And then they find a nice, tender, warm, moist spot, dig their heads in, and if you don't pull them off, they'll feed for several days.
So we found 2 on my dog. Luckily, she has white fur. We found 2 up around the head and ears. We took them. They came off very quickly, so I don't think that, like, very easily with tweezers, I don't think they had really dug in deeply yet. But I thought to myself, how the heck did she get ticks? Because this was in Cape Breton, kind of in the middle of nowhere. There weren't really animals around. Like, why would they go to a remote spot? How can they even survive there?
There are ticks everywhere now in all of the Maritime provinces, so it's not like there is a safe place to go. And normally the ticks are living on wild mice and other wildlife. And if you think about any environment, there are mice everywhere. So where there are mice, which is everywhere, there are ticks.
Interesting. All right, let's talk about how we can protect ourselves from ticks. What's your best advice to protect ourselves and our pets from these creatures?
There are a number of repellents you can use. The ones that are rated that say they're good on ticks are usually a better choice for ticks. Nothing's going to work 100%, and ticks are tough creatures. So if they're hungry, they're just going to hold their little noses and bite anyway. Your best bet is, if they get past the defenses, are to do tick checks. So after you've been outside at least once a day, check yourself all over for spots that weren't there the previous day. And I speak from personal experience. I did that last night, and wouldn't you know it, I had to pull someone off my arm.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't there for very long.
Yeah, well, Vet, this is great advice. Thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it.
Stay safe.
Yeah, you do. You too, indeed. Yeah, ticks are everywhere. So, Latavia, let's take a look at the weather right now.
Thanks, Crystal. We're starting off in New Brunswick. 16 degrees today with sunny skies. Sunshine continues in the forecast on Saturday, warming up to 19. A seasonal daytime high of 20 on Sunday. A mix of sun and cloud. Showers move in across the province into the evening. For Nova Scotia, 18 degrees with mainly sunny skies. Sunshine into the forecast on Saturday, cooling down to 16. Warming up, though, on Sunday, 20 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud. Evening rain for the Tri-County area. For Prince Edward Island, 13 degrees with sunshine, and sunshine continues on Saturday with a high of 14. 20 degrees on Sunday. Yet again, another sunny day.
Just ahead in this half hour, shore peddling. We get the scoop on a Nova Scotia woman's old-fashioned ice cream bike. Ding, ding, ding. That's coming up on Your Morning Atlantic.
Welcome back. It's 7:31. Yeah, we're going to be talking about shore peddling ice cream. Met Jess. Just fantastic business owner in our community. She has a bike, and she will go mostly to events and sells ice cream out of this cool, really cool refurbished treat. But it's true, when it's hot, I love an ice cream treat, a cold ice cream treat, whether it be in a cone or a stick or a bowl. What do you like to eat in the ice cream world?
Ooh, that's a good one. I like... You know what? I'm going to go for a mint Oreo Blizzard.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. You?
That's a good treat.
My guilty pleasure is Haagen-Dazs almond.
The bar?
Yes.
I'm going to go with the classic ice cream sandwich, but I'm not picky.
Right? I'll take anything, really. If it's ice cream form, yum, yum.
Let's sit in those two chairs. We'll finish it off while we watch the tide go in and out.
And then we'll go to Frenchie's in Truro.
Perfect.
Walk around Victoria Park.
Yeah, absolutely. Sign me up. As you can see over in Truro, the sun is shining. The sunshine will be sticking around into our weekend forecast for much of Atlantic Canada as well. We will be seeing a warm up this weekend, but it is cool to start for many areas across the region. As of right now, 6 degrees in Halifax, 5 in Sydney, as well as into Charlottetown. Cooler in Fredericton at 3 degrees and 4 in St. John's, Newfoundland. Keep in mind sun safety when heading out and enjoying and soaking up that sunshine. It is tracking moderate to high across all 3 maritime provinces, taking a dip as well for Newfoundland and Labrador, tracking low to high throughout your day. We're still holding on to that special weather statement in effect for parts of Labrador, still seeing a bit of snowfall. That will be ending this afternoon. And we also have a frost advisory in effect for all 3 maritime provinces. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. We do still have active weather in the forecast for Labrador, parts of Newfoundland into the afternoon. And in terms of the wind forecast, it will be picking up this afternoon as well. As of right now, 43 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 28 in Canso, 24 in Grand Etang with 15 in Sydney. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take another look at your forecast, just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. A youth over 12 in Prince Edward Island was struck by a tractor trailer yesterday while walking across a highway to meet a school bus. RCMP say the youth was hit just before 8 a.m. on Route 2 northeast of Charlottetown. Police say the youth was seriously injured and taken to hospital. The Mounties do not believe drugs or alcohol were a factor in the crash. A new report from the RCMP's National Watchdog says Mounties failed in their handling of a sexual assault complaint by a Nova Scotia woman who was murdered weeks later. Susie Butlin was killed in her Nova Scotia home in 2017, shortly after reporting her neighbor to the RCMP for sexual assault. A watchdog report found serious failures in how the case was handled, calling the initial investigation grossly inadequate, and says the RCMP hasn't done enough since to improve sexual assault investigations. The watchdog made 79 recommendations, including changes to training and policy and creating specialized units to investigate sexual offenses in each RCMP division. A Nova Scotia man has been charged with first-degree murder in connection to the disappearance of a Pictou County man. Stephen Boudreau was reported missing from Hopewell on April 19th. Police say the initial investigation determined the circumstances around his disappearance were suspicious. A month after he was reported missing, 29-year-old Cody Reed Palmer from Torbrook was charged with first-degree murder. He remains in custody at this time. Police say the investigation is ongoing. Now to the prices at the pumps this morning. You will be paying less for gas, but more if you fuel up with diesel. In Nova Scotia's Zone 1, gas fell by 3.4 cents. The minimum price now $1.92.8. Meantime, diesel increased by 2 cents. The minimum price $2.18.1. In PEI, gas slipped by 2.3 cents. The minimum price $2.01.7. Meantime, diesel increased by 7.5 cents. The minimum price now $2.36.8 a liter. And in New Brunswick, a small decrease for gas. It fell by 0.8 cents. The maximum price now $2.01.3. However, diesel increased by 2 cents a liter. The maximum price now $2.33.4. A wildfire burning in Lake Echo, Nova Scotia is under control, though crews remain on scene, keeping an eye on hotspots. Lake Echo is located to the east of Dartmouth. Halifax fire crews were busy Thursday afternoon fighting the fire. They had about 15 pieces of equipment on site. Crews were first called around 1:30 in the afternoon for a fire in the Jenkins Boulevard area. Members of the Department of Natural Resources and the Department of Emergency Management were also on scene assisting crews. A nearby homeowner said he saw embers falling onto his property at the height of the fire. Area residents were told to be ready to evacuate, though no evacuations were ordered. How the fire started is under investigation. Some Maritimers will have a chance to see the FIFA World Cup trophy in Halifax tomorrow, but city officials are warning the buzz will most likely cause traffic tie-ups. On Saturday, the World Cup Trophy Tour will be at the BMO Soccer Centre. That's on Thomas Riddell Drive near Lacewood and Dunbrack in the Clayton Park area. It's a chance to see the soccer trophy ahead of next month's World Cup in Toronto and Vancouver, as well as the U.S. and Mexico. It's the only stop east of Montreal, and tickets had to be secured in advance. The city's telling people to expect heavy traffic and limited parking. The Halifax Mainland Common Park will be closed today and tomorrow for the event. Finally, hockey fans got the chance to hear stories from former NHL stars Marc-Andre Fleury and Maxime Talbot during Heart and Strokes in the Crease fundraiser in Moncton last night. It was a sold-out crowd packing Casino New Brunswick for the event, which featured on-stage conversations, fan interaction, and fundraising efforts in support of Heart and Stroke New Brunswick. It's also a chance for Fleury to return to the Maritimes, where he played 3 seasons with the Cape Breton Eagles, which launched his decorated 21-season NHL career.
I talk to a lot of the kids here, and I think, well, they're Habs fans or Leafs fans or Bruins fans out here, or maybe even an Oiler fan, but it's crazy how many Pittsburgh Penguin fans exist. And I would say that's the Crosby effect, but also I would say that's the Marc-Andre Fleury effect.
Now, organizers say support for the event will fund heart and stroke programs, research, and community initiatives right across New Brunswick. Big crowd there last night.
It looked like a great event, actually. I love when sports people come together and raise money for good causes.
For good causes, yeah, it's so true. And get, have a chance to see the fans as well.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
Remind us about our Move Morning Chat, Amanda. We need some responses to come in.
All right, let's bring them in. We are asking you, what was your only in the Maritimes moment? Like, oh gosh, of course, this would only happen here on the East Coast. Crystal, you had a good one.
The time the guy showed up in my driveway with the Titanic life jacket, that's only in the Maritimes.
Oh yeah, that too.
Real though.
Yeah. That's so true. That's a good one.
Yeah, people dropping by with no notice unexpectedly, that's very Maritimes. Happens all the time.
That's so true. It's like, you want a cup of tea? Like, come on in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to have tea. You've got to have tea on hand, and I always have something in the freezer. I find a box of Girl Guide cookies is a great thing because they thaw out. You can kind of still eat them frozen.
Yum.
You got to have that.
Oh, that is a good idea. Gosh, there's so many. So many made in the Maritime, like just even the connection, like seeing the BMO Center. I'm like, oh, my mother-in-law worked there for years, at that soccer center.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff.
All right, we want to give some more stuff away today. It's a Friday, let's do it. Let's remind you about the Kent Big Bucket giveaway for May, and it's a good one. If you'd like to be relaxing on some brand new Era Home patio furniture, then this month's Kent Big Bucket giveaway is for you. You could win a $1,500 gift certificate to spend on any of the gorgeous pieces available, perfect for hanging out on your deck or in the backyard this summer. Enter to win by heading to ctvatlantic.ca. The winner will be announced next Friday. So get your entries in, people.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's a great one.
And we have some great patio weather, too, over the next few days. Latavia has more details on the daytime highs and what we can expect. Also, too, this is a sign of the summer. This sweet ride. Crystal meets a woman behind Shore Peddlin'. Stay with us. Your Morning Atlantic. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We are taking a live look at Windsor. It is currently 7:44 a.m. 5 degrees in your area. The sun is shining and will be sticking around throughout the day today. We are going to see this ridge of high pressure remain in place over the weekend, bringing us sunshine today and into tomorrow and Sunday. As of right now, it is 6 degrees heading outdoors in Halifax with 5 in Sydney and Charlottetown, 3 degrees in Fredericton, looking at -3 in Labrador City, and 3 degrees over in Corner Brook. A special weather statement still remains in place for parts of Labrador. We'll be ending this afternoon as we expect snowfall, still around only 5 centimeters of accumulation, wind gusts nearing 80 kilometers per hour. We now have a frost advisory in effect for all 3 maritime provinces. Tonight into Saturday night, as temperatures still continue to cool down into the overnight hours, we are expecting a frost to develop. Over to our forecast timeline. As you can see here, not really much to show you for much of Atlantic Canada. There we go. We're seeing sunshine right across the region, but we do have some snowfall early this morning for parts of Labrador. We'll taper off to a chance of flurries. Into the afternoon, though, we do have a bit of a messy mix for parts of Newfoundland. Showers and/or flurries will return, especially into Cape Breton Island as well. We are going to see a bit of a mixed precipitation. That will clear out, though, as we head towards tonight. Clear skies for all 3 maritime provinces. Temperatures really cooling down yet again. Quite cold for parts of the maritime region. And that takes us into our forecast for Saturday. We are going to see lots of sunshine and a bit of a warm-up for those daytime highs. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, looking at around 2 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for Labrador, only 2 centimeters of accumulation for parts of Newfoundland. And then for our rainfall outlook, looking at around 5 to 10 millimeters for Labrador and into St. Anthony. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, sunshine remains in the forecast. Daytime highs will range from 14 to 18 degrees. Wind will pick up out of the northwest, 20 gusting to 40. Prince Edward Island looking at highs between 10 to 14 degrees today. Sunny skies, wind gusts of 40. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, also seeing highs that will range from 7 to 16. Sunny skies, wind picking up out of the west, 30 gusting to 50. The rest of Nova Scotia, highs will range from 12 to 17 degrees, mainly sunny start to your day. Clouds clear out this afternoon. And then for Labrador City, a high of 3. We do have a chance of flurries throughout your day with 8 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at mainly sunny skies today. And then showers arrive into the overnight hours. For Saturday's forecast, still holding on to a bit of shower activity early in the morning and into the afternoon for parts of Newfoundland. Other than that, though, lots of sunshine across the region. Into our forecast for Sunday, much of the same. Temperatures warm up yet again. It's going to be a beautiful sunny day ahead for the region. We do have a low pressure system currently off to the west of us. We'll be bringing some showers back around for parts of the maritime region into the evening and carrying into the forecast for Monday. A wet day is ahead. That's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to Crystal.
Yay, at the sound of the bell, that means it's ice cream time. I'm joined by Jess, who's the owner and founder of Shore Peddlin'. And finally, I get to see the rig for myself. It's beautiful, Jess.
Thank you so much, Crystal.
We're so excited to check in on you. It's been about a year exactly since you started this business. Where did it all begin?
So I got this off Marketplace from a gentleman in New Brunswick. So he drove it down here on his truck, and then I refurbished it, and now I'm here.
So would this been like a Dickie D's kind of thing?
Yeah, he used it kind of as like a Dickie D style, and I'm kind of doing that myself, bringing it like a retro feel, like this day and age Dickie D.
Yeah. Well, this is, I mean, you refurbished it absolutely beautifully. It's just stunning. And I know that's why people love to have you show up at events, because it just creates a vibe.
Yes.
What kind of events do you do?
I'm focusing this summer especially on corporate events and weddings.
Okay.
So I'm really excited for that. But I do different sporting events, birthday parties, wherever they want me.
I love it. Now, this bike has been so popular that you've had to get a second bike. Tell us about that process.
I have expanded. I'm really excited. I have a second bike. It's actually just getting worked on now, and I'm going to get it in a couple weeks. So I'm really excited.
All right, well, I'm a bit curious about kind of the nuts and bolts of operating an ice cream business. So I'd like to just like show right now, like this is the cooler area.
Yes.
We're gonna, Just showed me this. Okay, we're going in here, and there's some products. So show us an example. Okay, so this is new.
I have partnered with Churned this summer. They're on Portland Street, and I'm selling a couple of their products. So it's vegan, it's great. It's just a great little option. So I do sell mostly just prepackaged stuff. Yeah. But I have partnered with Churn to do this, so I'm excited for
Wonderful. That. Okay. Let's put. I love opening a little compartment. It's very satisfying. I'm sure after a full long day of an event, the buzzing gets a tangle. And then you can have like a, oh my gosh, this looks like a rocket pop.
It is a rocket pop. The kids love these ones.
Oh yeah.
Anything like freezy-ish.
Oh yeah. See that? Like, look at this. This whole thing. Her with the hat, the bike, the rocket pop, the machine. It's fabulous. Okay. Put a pin in that rocket pop for a second, because we have to showcase that you're even expanding into now merch, because people want to represent the shore peddling wherever they go.
For sure.
This piece, I'm wearing this lovely sweatshirt, and then I'm going to go right here. We have, tell us what's going on here.
So I do like t-shirts and hoodies. Something that I've done that I've been really wanting to do, I have a custom candle that I'm selling.
Oh, okay.
So I partnered with
Would that be this?
It is.
I love it.
So I partnered with Albin Lane, and
oh my gosh, we love them.
A local business. I love the girls. They're lovely. And this is their Sunday candle.
Can I smell it?
Yes.
So this is just for you, shore peddling. Look how pretty that is. I mean, we love the friends at Albin Lane. They do such a great job.
They're great.
Oh my gosh. It's ice cream, but there's a little something extra. It's just lovely.
Thank you.
It's lovely, and it looks good too. Okay, let's pop that back in here. And then last but not least,
and I have my mugs.
So this would be the shore peddling experience for the morning show host for the coffee in the morning.
Exactly, exactly.
Jess, you're doing great work. I can't wait to see where the business goes in the future. Thank you so much. Since you have the second bite coming, I might as well take this one out for a spin. Thank you.
Thanks, Crystal.
Ice cream for all. Okay, let's go. Oh, here we go. Hire me.
Crystal did make it back. It took a few hours, but all the ice cream was gone. Health and medical news now. Generic versions of Ozempic are beginning to arrive at pharmacies across Canada. It's one of the topics in your health. Health Canada recently approved semaglutide products from Apotex and Dr. Reddy's. Apotex says its product will cost about 1/3 the price of brand name Ozempic, which can cost hundreds of dollars each month. Some pharmacy chains say supplies are starting to reach distribution centers and stores. Experts say patients paying out of pocket will likely see benefits first, while insurers update their coverage plans. Canadian aid workers are on their way to Congo to help with the country's deadly Ebola outbreak. The rare strain of Ebola in the outbreak has no cure and no vaccines. The Canadian Red Cross's Halifax-based operations lead hopes to arrive in the next few days, but a team of public health and logistics experts are already en route to help with contact tracing, psychological support, and helping people get to treatment centers. Finally, a major new study finds Quebecers really love their cheese. The provincial government-funded study of Quebec's eating habits describes itself as the biggest project of its kind on the nutrition and health of the Quebec population. Researchers analyzed nearly 7,000 people and more than 26,000 meals through the Nutri-Quebec project. Apples, potato chips, cheese, and bananas ranked among the most common snacks. The report also found bread contributes nearly as much sodium to diets as sauces and seasonings. Researchers say the findings will help shape future public health and nutrition policies.
Murphy's Logic is brought to you by Kent Building Supplies. Look what we've built together.
The debate over taxes, tolls, and user fees.
Steve Murphy has some thoughts on what works best as our provincial governments battle big deficits.
It's often quoted, but Winston Churchill did not actually say there is no such thing as a good tax. He did say that for a nation to tax itself into prosperity is like a man standing in a bucket and trying to lift himself by the handle. No doubt our tax dollars fund many good and important things, but the point is, few among us enjoy paying taxes, especially for things we don't approve of or don't use. Which is why tolls are sometimes an appropriate and attractive alternative. New Brunswick's plan to impose tolls near the Nova Scotia border has rankled more than a few people, notably Nova Scotians, who see it as some sort of provincial admission fee. But the rationale is that drivers who don't pay taxes to New Brunswick should pay to use the province's roads. Out-of-province drivers have been paying to use Nova Scotia's Cobequid Pass for years. That road wouldn't have been built without tolls, which were initially paid to the private sector developer. Truth is, in certain circumstances, user fees are fundamentally more fair than taxes. And the principle is pretty simple. People who make use of a service should pay more than those who don't. And those who are required or use a given service frequently can also be given discounts or exemptions, as Nova Scotia has recently done with the Cobequid Pass. Regrettably, Nova Scotia has also eliminated tolls on the Halifax Harbour bridges and in hospital parking lots, fulfilling political promises made during the last election campaign, even as the province's debt explodes. That's certainly not a good tax for the people who never or seldom use those services, who will also now share in the cost of maintaining them. Modern Canada has long favored universality in the delivery of government services without so many fees and tolls. But as governments struggle with their finances, this is a good time to consider whether more user fees, including road tolls, should be integrated into the revenue stream as an alternative to broadly higher taxes. I'm Steve Murphy.
And now we'd like to introduce you to the Maritimers who are marking milestones today and tomorrow. It's a 50th anniversary for Chris and Darlene Butland of Dartmouth.
Great. I love the frame idea. Great job, you two. Happy anniversary. And it's a 50th anniversary for Vera and Tony Bacher of Rossay, New Brunswick, or Beauchar. I would like to pronounce it right. I hope that I got it right, you two. In any case, have a wonderful anniversary.
Happy anniversary. It's also a 50th anniversary for Dale and Roger Swallow of Dartmouth.
Oh my gosh, an adventurous couple on the go. Happy anniversary. And now to the Maritimers who are marking milestones tomorrow. It is a 67th anniversary for Marion and Jim Dix of Kingston, Nova Scotia. Congratulations, you two.
Happy anniversary. And to see your milestone again or to find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance. All right, here's another look at our weekend forecast for New Brunswick. 16 degrees today. Sunshine continues into the weekend with a high of 19. A seasonal daytime high on Sunday of 20. A mix of sun and cloud. Evening showers expected. For Nova Scotia, looking at 18 degrees today with mainly sunny skies. 16 on Saturday, so cooling down, but warming right back up on Sunday to a high of 20. A mix of sun and cloud. Rain moves in for the southwestern region of the province. Prince Edward Island looking at 13 degrees today. Sunshine continues on Saturday with a high of 14. 20 degrees on Sunday. Sunshine yet again across the island.
It's Friday, May 22nd. Today on your Morning Atlantic Trophy Tour, the FIFA World Cup Trophy is making a one-day stop in our region tomorrow, and there are concerns it could cause some traffic issues. We'll have those details just ahead in your top news headlines.
And nutrition on the go. A dietitian shares some easy and nutritious meal ideas for busy summer months. That's in this half hour of your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us and making us a part of your morning. I want to bring us back to the Move Morning Chat. We were talking about only in the Maritimes.
Yes.
That's a moment. So I was reviewing some of the text messages we received, and shout out to Joan, who's in Cape Breton, because earlier I had said Aslan Debison, the young singer from Cape Breton, is my third cousin. Well, Joan texts and says Aslan's my second cousin.
Wow. So basically you and Joan are related.
It's family. Yeah, Absolutely. So anyways, I messaged her back. I said, okay, well, who's your father? Because I said, this was my grandfather. Now I'm trying to figure out the family connection and if we've ever met. Now we're related. That, like, this is a maritime moment.
Only in the Maritimes.
Love it.
Yeah. Anyways, we're getting some really fun stories, and we'll have a big roundup in about an hour.
Yeah. An hour. Wow.
Yeah, she's flying this morning. But
9 o'clock.
The weather's great. We're all in a great mood.
Absolutely, and we're going to see that continue. Sunshine remains in the forecast even into the weekend. Temperatures are cooler to start, but it's starting to slowly warm up. It is 3 degrees right now in Fredericton, so just keep that in mind when you are heading out to get out this morning. You're going to want to layer up. 6 degrees right now in Halifax, 5 in Charlottetown and Sydney, 4 into St. John's, Newfoundland. So we are seeing a bit of a dip for the UV index, still tracking moderate to high across the Maritime region, so keep in mind sun safety when soaking up the sunshine. We are also seeing the UV index track low to high for Newfoundland and Labrador. That special weather statement currently remains for parts of Labrador, ending a little bit later this afternoon, but still seeing a bit of snowfall. And we do have a frost advisory for all 3 Maritime provinces for tonight until Saturday night. We do have active weather in the forecast for parts of Labrador and Newfoundland, also seeing a bit of active weather into the afternoon. Showers and/or flurries will move in, but clear out for Newfoundland at least. And then for our wind forecast, we do have a breezy day ahead. As of right now, 43 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 28 in Canso, 24 in Grand Etang, 15 in Sydney, 11 in Miramichi. And no wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
A new report from the RCMP's national watchdog says Mounties failed in their handling of a sexual assault complaint by a Nova Scotia woman who was murdered weeks later. Susie Butlin was killed in her home in 2017, shortly after reporting her neighbor to the RCMP for sexual assault. A watchdog report found serious failures in how the case was handled, calling the initial investigation grossly inadequate, and says the RCMP hasn't done enough since to improve sexual assault investigations. The watchdog made 79 recommendations, including changes to training and policy, and creating specialized units to investigate sexual offenses in each RCMP division. Prices at the pumps now. You will be paying less for gas this morning, but more for diesel. In Nova Scotia, Zone 1, gas fell by 3.4 cents. The minimum price now $1.92.8 a litre. Meantime, diesel increased by 2 cents. The minimum price now $2.18.1. In Prince Edward Island, gas slipped by 2.3 cents. The minimum price now $2.01.7. However, diesel increased by 7.5 cents. The minimum price on the island now $2.36.8. And in New Brunswick, a small decrease for gas. It fell by 0.8 cents. The maximum price $2.01.3. However, diesel increased by 2 cents a litre. The maximum price now $2.33.4. It's a medication that can stop a heart attack. Paramedics in Nova Scotia already have access to so-called clot busters for patients being rushed to hospital. And now New Brunswick is jumping on board. CTV's Nick Moore now on what it could mean for patients and paramedics.
Every second counts if you're having a heart attack, and what happens between a 911 call and arriving at the ER can mean life or death. The New Brunswick government says it will commit up to $2.5 million to equip advanced care paramedics with pre-hospital thrombolytics for patients who are experiencing certain types of heart attacks. The medications are also known as clot busters.
It goes right to the clot, dissolves it, and instantly you have an improvement in flow to that area of the heart.
The medication can also help to prevent permanent heart damage from a cardiac event.
That means at the end of it all, they come out with a heart that hasn't had muscle or tissue damage to the same extent.
This was on Premier Susan Holt's radar back when she was leader of the official opposition.
We put it right into our next budget and then started the process of developing the guidelines, making sure we had clear processes for how this would be deployed.
Paramedics are already administering these medications in Nova Scotia, along with British Columbia, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario. Health Minister Dr. John Dornan says there was at one time skepticism in the medical community about these types of pre-hospital interventions.
35 years ago, I did not know the risks, the benefits, the route of administration, so I was nervous. Now we have a team that knows all those things. They know the indications, they work with the team, they know how to do it, they know the ups and downs of it.
Paramedics have been begging for the ability to administer these medications to patients who need it.
Paramedics tell us they want to do more in healthcare, they want more opportunities to help out our system. So when we give paramedics more opportunity, then we will see them want to stay in their careers longer. The average lifespan of a career in New Brunswick for a paramedic is about 8 years, which is not a long time.
Ambulance New Brunswick will begin using thrombolytics this summer. Nick Moore, CTV News, Fredericton.
Thank you, Nick. Maritimers will have a chance to see the FIFA World Cup trophy in Halifax tomorrow, but city officials are warning the buzz will most likely cause traffic tie-ups. On Saturday, the World Cup Trophy Tour will be at the BMO Soccer Centre. That's on Thomas Riddell Drive near Lacewood and Dunbrack in the Clayton Park area. It is a chance to see the soccer trophy ahead of next month's World Cup in Toronto and Vancouver, as well as the U.S. and Mexico. It is the only stop east of Montreal for the trophy, and tickets had to be secured in advance. The city is telling people to expect heavy traffic and limited parking. The Halifax Mainland Common Park will also be closed today and tomorrow for the event. Finally, Cape Breton's Goldie Boutlier took home 2 of the top awards at last night's East Coast Music Awards Gala at Centre 200 in Sydney. Boutlier won both Album of the Year and Breakthrough Artist of the Year. Meantime, the Lifetime Achievement Award went to the Barra McNeils, who are celebrating 40 years as a band. They were just on our show a few weeks ago. The ECMA Awards Gala is part of the 5-day East Coast Music Awards Festival happening right now in beautiful Sydney, Cape Breton.
Gosh, I'd love to be there right now.
Oh my gosh, what a party it would be, right?
It's a fun place to be.
Yeah, any time of the year, but for the performances too. I mean, last time the ECMAs were there for Sydney, it was all virtual because of, you know what? Oh yeah.
Well, that is not the case anymore. And I've got excited to tell you that you got a few chances to win our contest left, just a few, 6 exactly, today and next week. So if you want to win $20,000 for the Your Morning Atlantic Pay Your Bills contest, here's how you enter. You go to our website, ctvatlantic.ca, or scan the QR code you're going to see right in a second. There it is there. Boom. Okay, and the word today is prosper. Enter that along with little info. You'll be entered to win today. You can get that out of the way, and then next week 5 more chances to win each day we're on the air. Then soon we'll be announcing the winner of $20,000. Could be you.
Ooh, I can't wait for us to announce that.
Exciting. What a call to get. All right, we are winning when it comes to the weather. Latavia has the latest forecast for this Friday and a look ahead on what we can expect for this weekend as well. Also, too, we'll have a look at your national news headlines. This spot's going to be very busy this weekend. It's going to be Inverness County in Cape Breton. Here's a live look at Bedeck. The Cabot Trail Relay Race is going to be happening there this weekend.
Is it this weekend?
Really?
Yeah, it's already this weekend. It always finishes with a big party in Bedeck. But yeah, if you're going to be driving around the Cabot Trail, watch out for runners, because that is going on early in the morning, all day, overnight. Good luck to those participating. We have the forecast up next.
Fun stuff.
Good morning and welcome back. The time now is 8:12. Taking a live look at a sunny, beautiful start to the day in Liverpool. 9 degrees as of right now, so temperatures are slowly beginning to rise, but it is a cooler start to the day yet again as we saw temperatures come down into the overnight hours on Thursday, but temperatures will warm up into the afternoon for our daytime highs, just remaining below seasonal for much of them. 7 degrees right now in Halifax, Sydney, and Charlottetown, with 6 degrees in Fredericton, -3 over in Labrador City, and looking at 5 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. Still holding on to that special weather statement currently for parts of Labrador, ending this afternoon. Still expecting around 5 centimeters of snowfall, wind gusts nearing 80 kilometers per hour. We also have a frost advisory now in effect for all 3 maritime provinces tonight until Saturday night. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. Still remaining under this ridge of high pressure. Sunshine for much of Atlantic Canada. We do have periods of snow. and or tapering off to a chance of flurries into the afternoon. And then for parts of Newfoundland and Cape Breton Island, seeing a chance of showers and or flurries, but that will clear out for Cape Breton Island at least, taking us into a clear night ahead. And then early Saturday morning sunshine yet again, and temperatures will be warming up, seasonal to above seasonal for our daytime highs. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, though, only seeing around 2 to 5 centimeters across Labrador, only around 2 centimeters of accumulation for parts of Newfoundland. And then for our rainfall outlook, 5 to 10 millimeters expected for Labrador and into St. Anthony. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, sunshine remaining throughout the day today across the province. We are looking at daytime highs that will range from 14 to 18 degrees. Wind will be picking up out of the northwest today, 20 gusting to 40. Prince Edward Island highs between 10 to 14 degrees, sunny skies across the island with wind gusts of 40. And same thing goes for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, lots of sunshine today. Highs will range from 7 to 16 degrees. Wind gusts will be picking up to 50. And then the rest of Nova Scotia, mainly sunny start to your day. Clouds will clear out into the late afternoon. Daytime highs ranging from 12 to 17 and wind gusts of 40. For Labrador City, looking at a chance of flurries throughout your day with a high of 3 degrees. 9 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at mainly sunny skies today. Showers arrive into the evening. So showers will continue for parts of Newfoundland into Saturday afternoon before clearing out. Lots of sunshine for much of the region. Temperatures will continue to warm up. Same thing goes for Sunday's forecast. Another beautiful sunny days ahead, warmer daytime highs headed our way. And we do have a low pressure system currently off to the west of us. It will be bringing rain back around for parts of Nova Scotia into the southern region into the evening on Sunday. And then Monday will be a wet day ahead for much of the Maritime region. So that's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. Albertans will vote this fall on whether or not they want to separate from the rest of Canada.
I will be requesting our government add an additional question to the October 19th referendum vote announced previously. The additional question will be, should Alberta remain a province of Canada? Or should the government of Alberta commence the legal process required under the Canadian Constitution to hold a binding provincial referendum on whether or not Alberta should separate from Canada?
That address by Premier Smith came after a bipartisan committee passed a motion recommending that a pro-Canada petition be sent to a referendum. A court had recently quashed another petition calling for separation, saying that the province did not consult First Nations. On the ice, the Montreal Canadiens open the NHL's Eastern Conference Final Series against the Carolina Hurricanes with a win.
And now moving it all along with the shot, score!
The Habs handed the Hurricanes their first loss of the playoffs, beating them 6-2 in front of a home crowd in North Carolina. Game 2 goes Saturday night in Montreal. A TV franchise is now in the history books forever. Stephen Colbert hosted the very last episode of The Late Show and shut down New York City's Ed Sullivan Theater last night. ABC's Rena Roy has a recap.
Overnight, Stephen Colbert hosting the final Late Show on CBS.
If you're just tuning into The Late Show, you missed a lot.
Colbert trying to do a normal show, but he kept getting interrupted by celebrities, all vying to be his final guest.
A surprise celebrity cameo popping up out of nowhere?
No, Brian, those always feel kind of forced. Paul, why are you interrupting me?
I'm just curious when our interview starts. I have an extremely long poem I want to recite.
Ryan, it's great to see you, but I hate to tell you, buddy, you're not my last guest. Ouchie.
The night building to a big surprise. Colbert, a devout Catholic, teeing up an interview with Pope Leo.
Oh, wait, Colbert. You call that a Chicago dog? Pope don't play like that. Leo, out!
But instead settling for Paul McCartney.
Hey, Steve, what about me?
McCartney returning to the Ed Sullivan Theater for perhaps the final time.
The Beatles, bring them on!
More than 60 years after the Beatles' legendary appearance on the same stage, McCartney gifting Colbert a photo of that concert.
To Stephen, you're better than the Beatles.
Colbert and his former band leader, John Baptiste, closing out the final show with a Beatles classic. The broadcast ending with Colbert and McCartney turning off the lights on the Late Show franchise. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
All right, another break on this show. When we return, we're talking about quick and healthy snacks, especially for the summer. That's on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. It's 7:21 or 8:21, I should say. And if you're like me, you eat a lot of barbecue and birthday cakes in the summer. Being a busy parent can make it hard to stay on track with healthy eating. And there's nothing worse than having nothing ready to eat when you're faced with hangry people in your life. So here this morning to hack your food routine and boost the fun and nutrition in your summer day is dietitian and nutritionist Nishta Saxena. Good morning, Nishta.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Great to have you. So what are some easy ways parents can make healthy snacks more fun for kids this summer?
Well, talk about fun. As soon as my kids saw this, they were over the moon. This is the Hamilton Beach Food Dehydrator. And if you haven't tried one yet, it is the absolute best way to take advantage and make your own healthy snacks. So taking advantage of the beautiful produce we have in Canada, especially at this time of year, we can make everything from dried fruits, vegetable, kale chips. Here I've got some banana chips, as well as dehydrated pineapple. And these are so easy to take with you. All over the place, to the soccer field, to a sports game, to the beach, camping. You can't go wrong with this machine. And what I love is you can also make beef jerky, which I think is a really cool idea. I can't wait to try that. And the food dehydrator is super simple to use, and it can be found at your local Canadian Tire. So we absolutely love that.
That's awesome. So, for example, how long does it take to dry out a banana chip?
It really depends on the moisture level of the fruit or vegetable. So what you can do is actually cut them up and sort of air dry them and then pop them in if you wanted this to happen faster and a faster cycle. But sometimes it can just be within, 10, 20 minutes. Other times it can be much longer, really depending again on the moisture of the fruit or the vegetable or the meat.
Love it. Love that idea. Okay,
Yeah.
for busy families constantly on the go, what's a quick, healthy option that you love?
Yes, well, I mean, smoothies. Really, I don't think there's a family out there that's not making smoothies or protein shakes. This is the Hamilton Beach single serve blender. And what I love about this is everyone can get the exact smoothie they want. So it can be it's a single serve. You can add whatever you like to your smoothie. And it comes with this travel lid. And the beauty is you can just pop it off and go. So you could have this prepped in the morning, ready to go, couple buzzes, and you've got a smoothie ready to go. And you can even top it with, as we have here, all the kids love that dried fruit, making like a smoothie bowl kind of vibe. So I love this for busy families on the go.
Oh my gosh.
And you can also find this at Canadian Tire.
Great. That's a great idea. I'm going to need 5, though. I'm going to need 5. Okay, let's move on now to where can we talk about incorporating some nice purple rice into family meals?
Yeah, I just thought this was so fun because people are kind of getting bored with their meals. You want the summer, you want things to be bright and colorful. And this Thai rice, we have the rice berry version of Thai rice here. It's a beautiful purple color. It's such a deep purple color. It's so cool. Kids love watching it cook because it's that beautiful bright purple color. And it's not just colorful. It is packed with nutrients, antioxidants, fiber, vitamin E, all the good stuff, omega-3s. And these are nutrients that we really want every single bite to count. So it's very versatile, very high quality product from Thailand. And I have a little salad here made with edamame. So it's packed with protein, vitamin C, and you can use it in so many recipes. We could use it. There's a recipe we have that comes up with pineapple, just making those summer meals fresh and fun. And I would just pack this into a thermos. And this is, again, so easy to eat anywhere that you're on the road, in the car, again, at a game, on a field, at the beach. It's beautiful because it tastes fabulous cold as well. So this, again, is the Thai rice, which is a very high quality product from Thailand.
Okay, 2 quick questions because we have less than 30 seconds left. What does it taste like? Like, how different is it than other kinds of rice?
Oh. You know what I would say? It's got a little more nuttiness. So it definitely has a little more depth of flavor than a typical white rice. But that's actually really nice because then the body of, a rice dish, you're getting lots of flavor. And remember, with every bite, you're getting so much nutrition.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure if you're looking for this product as well, just reading the label to make sure you're looking for product of Thailand. That's how you'll know you'll be getting that beautiful Thai rice that you want to try.
Wonderful. Well, yeah, we'll be looking for that for sure. Nishta, thank you so much for these suggestions.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move our attention over now to Latavia.
Thanks, Crystal. Taking another look at our weekend forecast. Sunshine in New Brunswick today with a high of 16, warming up to 19 on Saturday, and a mix of sun and cloud expected on Sunday with a high of 20. Evening showers across the province. For Nova Scotia, 18 degrees today with mainly sunny skies, 16 on Saturday. Sunshine continues on Sunday, warming up to 20. We do have rain, though, for the southern region of the province. Prince Edward Island, 13 degrees with sunny skies. Sunshine continues on Saturday with a high of 14, 20 on Sunday.
Still ahead, the garden guide. Get your green thumbs ready. We're heading back to Halifax Seed in about 15 minutes here on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. I clearly can't speak this morning. It's a Friday for sure. Thank you so much for joining us. Time now is 8:29. Jeez. Oh,
I said it was 7:15 a couple minutes ago.
You know what? Take it away. That's fine.
It is an 8 o'clock hour, everybody. Maybe in Ontario, if you were joining us. Some people, we have viewers there.
We do. Sometimes we'll have viewers message us saying that they used to live in Atlantic, Canada. Maybe they're out visiting family. Maybe they live elsewhere. And they still tune in to watch this show.
Aww.
Which is really, really nice to hear.
We appreciate it so much.
Yeah, we really do.
Really have appreciated the sunshine this week. I know that can't stay sunny forever. We need to have that rain again.
Which will come.
The forest, and it will come, but keep the forest ready, you know, and nice and safe. But in the meantime, it has been nice to wake up with a bird singing and like a gentle bit of sun.
I know.
Right?
Oh, how nice has that been?
And the traffic on the Confederation Bridge has been so light recently. I mean, we need to go to PEI.
I guess it closed. No, I'm just joking. There's a car driving right now. But yes, beautiful sunshine as we enter into the weekend. Sunshine will continue. If you're looking for some precipitation, that will come Sunday night into Monday. That's when we're going to see that wet weather move in. But enjoy that sunshine while it lasts. 7 degrees right now in Halifax, Sydney, and Charlottetown. 6 early this morning in Fredericton. 5 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. Holding on to the UV index, keep in mind sun safety. It has dropped just a bit, still tracking moderate to high throughout your day today. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, tracking low to high as well. We do still have a special weather statement in effect for parts of Labrador due to snowfall that will be ending this afternoon, as well as a frost advisory for all 3 maritime provinces for tonight and Saturday night. We do have some active weather in the forecast as well for Labrador, looking at snow that will taper off to a chance of flurries. And then for parts of Newfoundland, seeing a chance of showers and or flurries into the afternoon. And in terms of the wind for the maritime region, slowly beginning to pick up. As of right now, 44 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 28 into Sydney and Canso, 24 in Grand Tang and in Charlottetown. We'll take one last look at your forecast just ahead. First, one last look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. And we begin with a traffic tie-up in Dartmouth this morning. Emergency crews are responding to a 2-vehicle crash on Highway 111. They first responded around 7:30 a.m. The vehicles were traveling northbound. There are no reported injuries. Traffic was reduced to 1 lane. It is a busy area, especially during peak travel times. It had a domino effect and slowed down traffic coming off Portland Street. Tow trucks are on scene. It's expected to clear up within the next 30 minutes. There's no word on what caused the crash, but it is having an impact on travel in the HRM this morning. A youth over 12 in Prince Edward Island was struck by a tractor trailer yesterday while walking across a highway to meet a school bus. RCMP say the youth was hit just before 8 a.m. on Route 2, just northeast of Charlottetown. Police say the youth was seriously injured and taken to hospital. The Mounties do not believe drugs or alcohol were a factor in the crash. A new report from the RCMP's National Watchdog says Mounties failed in their handling of a sexual assault complaint by a Nova Scotia woman who was murdered weeks later. Susie Butlin was killed in her Nova Scotia home in 2017, shortly after reporting her neighbor to the RCMP for sexual assault. A watchdog report found serious failures in how the case was handled, calling the initial investigation grossly inadequate, and says the RCMP hasn't done enough since to improve sexual assault investigations. The watchdog made 79 recommendations, including changes to training and policy and creating specialized units to investigate sexual offenses in each RCMP division. 2 people have been charged in the death of a child in Eskasoni First Nation. The child died suddenly at a home in the community last August. A 37-year-old woman and 42-year-old man, both from Eskasoni, are facing charges of failing to provide the necessities of life and criminal negligence causing death. The suspects were released on conditions and are due to appear in Eskasoni Provincial Court in June. Months after a dozen volunteer Sackville firefighters turned in their pagers, stepping away from active duty, the future of the department is still a major issue in the Tantramar area. An independent legal probe examined allegations ranging from policy violations and workplace toxicity to issues of leadership within the service. The municipality is now reviewing the findings with legal counsel to determine next steps, which will be presented to the incoming council. They are advising the public that priority remains safety and reliable fire protection services. Now to the latest prices at the pumps. You'll be paying less for gas this morning, but more for diesel. Starting with Nova Scotia, the Zone 1 area, gas fell by 3.4 cents. The minimum price now $1.92.8 a litre. Meantime, diesel increased by 2 cents. The minimum price now $2.18.1. In PEI, gas slipped by 2.3 cents. The minimum price now $2.01.7. Meantime, diesel increased by 7.5 cents. The minimum price now $2.36.8. And in New Brunswick, a small decrease for gas. It fell by 0.8 cents. The maximum price now $2.01.3. However, diesel increased by 2 cents a litre. The maximum price now $2.33.4. Some Maritimers will have a chance to see the FIFA World Cup trophy in Halifax tomorrow, but city officials are also warning the buzz will most likely cause traffic tie-ups. On Saturday, the World Cup Trophy Tour will be at the BMO Soccer Centre. That's on Thomas Riddell Drive near Lacewood and Dunbrack in the Clayton Park area. It is a chance to see the soccer trophy ahead of next month's World Cup in Toronto and Vancouver, as well as the U.S. and Mexico. It's the only stop east of Montreal, and tickets had to be secured in advance. The city's telling people to expect heavy traffic and very limited parking. The Halifax Mainland Common Park will be closed today and tomorrow for the event. Cape Breton's Goldie Boutlier took home 2 of the top awards at last night's East Coast Music Awards Gala at Centre 200 in Sydney. Boutlier won both Album of the Year and Breakthrough Artist of the Year. The Lifetime Achievement Award went to the Barra McNeils, who are celebrating 40 years as a band. The ECMA Awards Gala is part of the 5-day East Coast Music Awards Festival. Finally, if you're not looking at your screen right now, you definitely do not want to miss this because it is truly too cute. The hippopotamus is often described as the deadliest animal on land, but you can make an exception for this little cutie. Oh my goodness. This is real. Can you even imagine? This is a rare pygmy hippo enjoying her first outdoor bath at the Berlin Zoo. She was born just on May 9th and doesn't have a name yet, but zookeepers say the little hippo is developing well and gaining weight steadily.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to send this video to my daughter. She must be a large animal veterinarian, which technically could be a hippo.
Oh, yeah, it could be
her. That could be her hand.
Well, this is
a tiny baby hippo.
This truly, at this size, could be a house hippo, right?
For sure.
Right? Canadian treasure.
Oh my gosh.
Can you, look how darling this thing is. How is it even real?
I don't know.
So cute. Isn't it so sweet? On a Friday,
for this level of cuteness.
All deserve this treat. Let's just have a moment just to watch this as long as we can.
I know.
It's like how delicate.
Oh, I know. Wow. All right. It's lovely. Well, it's a time of year where those with a green thumb are often getting their gardens started. We have Garden Guide coming up, but one of those with a green thumb is a loyal viewer, Karen Harker. She sent us some photos of her plants almost ready for planting outdoors. So we're going to run through these. See, we got a little impatience, got a little nasturtium. Yum, yum, yum. I like that in a salad.
She usually has one
herbs.
a wheelbarrow, right?
Yeah, well, sure. Karen is, I think, a lot of gardens, and there's some more impatiens ready to go. So thank you, Karen. And a reminder that you can send us your photos and videos at yourmorningatlantic.ca or text us at 10400.
Incredible. When Maritimers hit the road this summer, their first stop should be Needs Fast Fuel to fuel your adventures. So with that, here's some events taking place in our region. The New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame will host the 56th annual induction gala this Saturday, May 23rd at the Capitol Theatre. You can come out and celebrate New Brunswick's outstanding athletes, teams, and sports builders. The event starts at 6 p.m. For tickets, head over to their website. And the Charlottetown Food Truck Festival kicks off today. There will be delicious food, a craft fair, makers market, kids zone, and music. The festival runs from today until Saturday from 12 to 8 p.m. at the Eastlink Center. Proceeds raised supports the Rotary Club of Charlottetown's community projects across the island. And the first ever Sackville Waters Awareness Day and Fish Release fundraiser will be hosted at the Sackville Lions Club this weekend. So the family-friendly event will be held Saturday, May 23rd from 10 a.m. until 2, featuring a release of young trout into First Lake, live music, educational displays, a barbecue, face painting, and so much more. And if you do have an upcoming event, send us the details. We'd love to promote it. Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca.
Explore the Maritimes this summer. Brought to you by Needs and Fast Fuel. There for all your on-the-go snacking needs.
Now, CTV, in partnership with Needs Convenience and Fast Fuel, wants to help you fuel up for fun. With more than 140 stores and gas bars throughout Atlantic Canada, Needs is your headquarters for coffee, slushies, snacks, meals on the move, car washes, and, of course, fuel. One lucky viewer can win a $200 gift card to be used at any Needs or Fast Fuel location. Adventure awaits. Don't miss out on your chance to fuel up for fun. To enter, head to ctvatlantic.ca. And remember, this is a one-day contest. Use that QR code, go to our website, and you could win. Good luck to you.
And still ahead, we have a look at the Friday and weekend forecast with Latavia, and we're heading over to Halifax Seed for the Garden Guide. The Friday edition of Your Morning Atlantic will be right back after this short break. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada, and happy Friday. The time now is 8:43. Taking a live look at a sunny start to the day in Halifax. Currently 7 degrees as you head outdoors. Temperatures expected to rise, but still remaining seasonal to below seasonal for much of our daytime highs. 7 degrees as well, starting off your day in Charlottetown. Currently 6 degrees in Fredericton, 0 in Happy Valley Goose Bay, with 4 degrees over in Corner Brook. That special weather statement for parts of Labrador still remains in effect until this afternoon, as we do expect some additional snowfall, only at around 5 centimeters of accumulation, and wind gusts nearing 80 kilometers per hour. For a frost advisory now extends across all 3 maritime provinces for tonight until Saturday night. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. Sunshine as we remain under this ridge of high pressure right across much of Atlantic Canada. We do still have periods of snow, tapering off to a chance of flurries into the afternoon. Into the afternoon, we also have a chance of showers and or flurries returning for parts of Newfoundland into Cape Breton Island, but that will clear out for Cape Breton, and we will be seeing pretty clear skies into tonight. Temperatures cooling back down, pretty cold tonight due to that frost advisory. Definitely has an effect as well. And that takes us into Saturday's forecast. We are going to see lots of sunshine remain across all 3 maritime provinces, and a warm-up also is going to occur. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, looking at around 2 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for Labrador. For Newfoundland, only seeing around 2 centimeters. And then for our rainfall outlook, 5 to 10 millimeters expected for much of Labrador. And then the heaviest being 5 to 10 as well for St. Anthony. Lots of sunshine remains across New Brunswick today, with daytime highs ranging from 14 to 18 degrees. Wind will be picking up as well out of the northwest, 20 gusting to 40. Prince Edward Island, lots of sunshine for you as well, with highs between 10 to 14, wind gusts of 40. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, we are going to see wind pick up out of the west, 30 gusting to 50. Lots of sunshine remains for you today as well, with highs between 7 to 16 degrees. For the rest of Nova Scotia, mainly sunny skies start off the day. Clouds will continue to clear out late this afternoon. Daytime highs between 12 to 17 and wind gusts of 40. For Labrador City, 3 degrees today with a chance of flurries throughout the day. 9 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, mainly sunny skies. Showers arrive into the evening. So showers will continue for parts of Newfoundland into Saturday afternoon, but will begin to clear out. Lots of sunshine for much of Atlantic Canada. Temperatures will continue to rise even into the forecast for Sunday. Sunny skies, but we do have a low pressure system that will slowly make its way over into Sunday evening, starting off with the Tri-County area of Nova Scotia, bringing rain, and that will continue for a wet day ahead on Monday. So that's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to the Garden Guide.
The Garden Guide is brought to you by Halifax Seed, growing for 160 years.
Welcome back to CTV News at 5. We've got another edition of the Garden Guide for you with Emily Trigano from Halifax Seed. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
I am so excited about this because it's a real sign of the season. It's time to get that lawn looking its best.
Absolutely. So, you know, some lawns, mine especially, really took a beating over the winter. A lot of thatch that we really had to rake up. So that's the kind of the dead grass layer that's knitted through the new grass that's coming up, all the things. So now's the time, get out, rake up any dead thatch, and take stock of maybe what happened over the winter. So we had a lovely infestation of voles that ran through some of our yard here. They seem to have found a new home, which is great. But we're left with the destruction.
Right.
So what do you do now? So, you know, we're gonna use a little bit of fresh topsoil. We'll put that down, break that through, add in a grass seed, a little bit of fertilizer, and that'll come back pretty quickly. So when it comes to lawn care, and if you're putting new seed down, the most important piece to know, do research on, and understand is what variety you're putting down. So do you have a really shady backyard? You should use a blend that is going to serve, you know, shaded areas well. Do you have a lot of kids or dogs running around? Any high traffic? If you're just, you know, if you're looking to throw something down at a campground or cottage. So really making sure you have the right blend for the right area of the property.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And sometimes you might go in there and just grab the cheapest bag, but you're not going to get what you need perhaps.
Absolutely. So putting the right seed down in the right place, that is always number one. Make sure you're fertilizing. So just like in our gardens, grass needs food to grow. So when grass is actively growing, so when it's green, especially in the spring and the fall, that's when it's uptaking the most nutrients. So that's when you want to make sure you have a good fertilizer down. I always like to start my season with a nice Scott's fertilizer. It's going to go right to the roots and provide a quick green up. And then I move to more of a professional blend fertilizer, like a 3409. So something that's going to be a little bit more slow release and release throughout the summer with environmental conditions. So it just creates a really nice, healthy soil. The other thing that we're going to do, because we are in Atlantic Canada and we do have really acidic soils, is lime. So liming is really important. It's going to help raise the pH in the soil and provide a healthy start to all of your grass.
And you only need to do that once?
So I like to do it in the spring and the fall.
Okay.
We recommend doing it twice.
We'll remind you in the fall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Emily.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next week.
See you then.
Hey, it's the last few minutes of our show for the short work and school week for so many of us. We're having a fun conversation about like what's only in the Maritimes would this happen kind of moment. So here is what you had to say at home. Nicole says something unique you only see in the Maritimes are people walking along highways and forests scouring for fiddleheads. It's that time of year.
Ooh, fiddleheads are fun to find.
Fiddlehead season. It is here now. Then we have Beth, who says, I posted a picture on social media of the home we purchased in a town neither of us had ever lived in before, and 3 people I already knew sent me messages that I was their new neighbor.
Wow.
My husband isn't from the Maritimes, and he doesn't get how I seemingly know everyone.
That's a fun experience.
It's true. It's like 2 degrees of separation around here. Next up, we have Jed. To continue with the drop-in unexpected, knock, enter, hello, is anyone home? then leave a note on the kitchen table.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. The fact that doors open to you, just walk in.
That's also such an East Coast thing. Like, the door's unlocked. It's open.
Yeah.
Just come on in.
Yeah. And that there'd be a notepad and pen near the phone that you could just go over and grab. Oh, my gosh, yeah, basically.
Yeah, here's my message for you.
Atlantic Canada.
This is a funny story, too. Carol says, years ago, I was working in procurement and needed to reach a potential contractor in PEI regarding a consulting contract. Called him many times and the phone rang unanswered. So finally, I called the island telephone operator to check the number. Maybe the number wasn't working. Well, the woman who answered, this is the operator, informed me that the gentleman's house had burned down and that's just why he wasn't picking up.
Well, okay, A, that's terrible. But also B, great that there was like person actually gave information.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, small town living.
But small town living to be like, oh yeah, I know who that is. Yep. This is why he's not picking up. He doesn't have a landline because he doesn't have a house. Oh, geez. So I hope we got settled there. Jessica from New Waterford, the only Maritimes moment is going to Tim Hortons in a blizzard and paying for the person behind you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's always incredible.
That's a nice thing to do. And Joan says, Aslan Debison's my second cousin, and I can't sing either, Amanda. You missed the conversation earlier. We were talking about that, and then Joan and I were like, are we cousins? And we started to talk a bit about that. That was pretty funny.
That's cool.
Love it.
Yeah, everyone, we all know each other somehow.
It's so great, yeah. And people are so friendly in the Maritimes. I love how only Atlantic Canada, you go to the store and the cashier will say dear, call you dear.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah,
Love
my
that.
love as well, too.
My love, yeah, it's just so nice. Okay, do we have time for the last laugh, control room? Okay, we do. Great. This isn't so much a laugh, it's just something neat and might lead to some more stories. A car dealership in northeastern Kansas is, for the birds, as you can see, a robin built a nest right on top of a tire of a truck sitting in the lot. And since robins' nests are federally protected, the dealership cannot move the truck or the nest. So the eggs have since hatched, and the dealership now has to wait for the baby birds to leave the nest. So that's when they were really, really little.
Wow, great nest.
But now they're growing.
Feed me.
Yeah.
Good job building
They did a great job. We bought a car. We had a minivan die in Cape Breton. And we didn't have a minivan, sorry, we had a car that died. It died, we had guests in the car, we had the dog in the car, it was fully packed with stuff. We pulled over, it just died, wah, wah. So we had the tow truck driver super kindly drove us, we called relatives, we were able to get it handled. But we needed a vehicle quickly because we were in big trouble. So we went to a car dealership in Middle River, Nova Scotia, and they had a van there, so we bought it. Like it was a good price. But we couldn't take the van home because it had a giant wasp nest in it.
Oh!
It had been sitting in the field. Yeah.
Whoa.
So they had to remove it.
Whoa. Whoa, what a story.
So that's why you got it for such a good deal.
Yeah, exactly. But that was a great van. Lasted for a long time. We were happy to have it. But and the van, the wasp nest was removed.
And we
all moved on with our lives.
Buy it now. We'll get you a free set of tires.
Buzzing deal.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, I took the sting out of the price of a new car, that's for sure.
Hey-o.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday morning.
Bye.